Lots of crashes. 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South, 40 eastbound near Church Street, 65 northbound after Rosa Park, 65 northbound before Wedgwood, 40 westbound at Charlotte Pike. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, gang. Welcome in. It is just after 3 o'clock. My name is Matt Murphy, and it's time for the Matt Murphy Radio Show, conveniently named. Thank you for being around, whatever time you're able to give us. We're certainly appreciative. We're just settling into our studios right off of Music Row. We like to say on the dead end of Music Row. It is Tuesday, July 22, 2025. Thank you for being around with us. Let me inundate you with some of the numbers that we'll be dealing with on today's program. It's day 183 of the Trump administration's second term. That's 183 of 1,460.5. I know that maybe technically some people believe it's 1461, but I'm not going there. It is day 847 of our visits together on Super Talk 99.7 WTN, and I'm pleased that you've decided to spend a little time with us. Whatever time you're able to give us, I hope to make it entertaining, informative, educational, and perhaps we'll all come out of this as better people. There are several people that I need to introduce you to, and we will do so now before I tell you the various platforms where you can listen to the show, because you're already listening to the show, so I suppose you already know that. I mean, whether it's on radio, a lot of you listen on the radio, 99.7 FM. More people than ever are over at Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart. We invite you, we ask of you, just download our app and use that. You can do so by going to your app store and typing in Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And then, of course, there's Talk TV for you masochists and the listening audience that want to look at us. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but I'm looking right at you. Go over to Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. And for most of those, you type in 997 WT and you'll get there where you're going. All right, Jackson Williams is behind the glass, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. I'm going to shame you right now, Jackson.
What'd I do?
So I just followed you today on the X machine.
Yes.
Aren't you happy?
I am very happy.
Were you waiting to put me down in your bio, too? I mean, you got the other guys over there on the sports station on the old bio. When do I get bio-worthy?
You're still in the feeling it out phase.
The getting to know you phase, the interim phase, the soon to be erstwhile phase.
What the kids call the talking phase.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know when you want to Netflix and chill. There's Ken Weaver.
Oh, dear God.
He's back in the newsroom. He gathers headlines for a living, delivers them twice an hour or when it breaks. Hello, Mr. Weaver.
How about you boys?
What's going on, man?
Just writing up news and wondering when the next shoe is going to drop, dude. They say it happens in threes. We had Malcolm Jamal Warner yesterday, Ozzy Osbourne today. We're going to have one more.
So let's talk about that for a moment,
Let's talk
Ken.
about it. Yes, sir.
They say that.
They say it.
So it happens in threes.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but can I slice that up any way I want to?
You have at it, man.
I mean, because, they don't give you a time frame.
No.
They just say it happens in threes.
Right. It seems like it happens like within a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
Like 3 famous people will pass away.
So we're going to give it like 3 days, 2 days, 3. Yeah. So I've long looked at this. Because every time somebody dies, they're like, well, it happens in threes.
Yeah, it comes in threes, boys.
You know, so we got another one coming. Gosh, I hope it's not me.
No.
I mean, I do.
I hope
it's not any of us.
If it's going to happen, I hope it's instantaneous.
But guess what? If it happened to any of us, nobody in Poughkeepsie would count that one because they don't know who we are.
Well, no, probably in Fort Wayne either.
So yeah, Ozzy dead at the age of 76 years old. You know what? That's a life that, if life had a heat index, he would be 107. He wouldn't be 70. I mean, man, oh, man, he lived a life. And,
He did.
And God bless him and his family and all of that. I mean, but let me tell you something. I was not an Ozzy fan. I mean, but I appreciate the music.
Sure.
I mean, I appreciate Black Sabbath, appreciate Paranoid and Iron Man and Crazy Train and Mama, I'm Coming Home and his solo career. I mean, I appreciate all of those things. But my brother actually sent me a text message, and I think he was only half kidding. He sent it to me and my sister and a couple of other of our family members and said, I'm going to be out for the rest of the day. I'm in mourning. And I think he was only half kidding.
Yeah.
Because Ozzy was the soundtrack of my brother's childhood.
Yes, sir. He's the soundtrack of my childhood.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just going to be honest. It was tough, that newscast I did after this.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I had some music to play.
Yeah.
Because that almost turned into a very embarrassing moment. But it's not that I'm mourning for Ozzy. For me, it is someone who represents a time in my life.
That's right. That's right.
Where at the time, it's some of the best days of my life. But whenever I became an Ozzy fan, I was in some of the darkest days of my life, and his music just spoke to me. Wow. And it's just one of those things, man. I mean, it takes me back to days. I mean, I know a lot of Gen Xers, and Brother Matt, you're Gen X. This was a time that we wish we could go back to a lot of times.
It was a lot simpler back then.
It sure was.
I get it. I completely understand that because I remember my brother, we went our separate ways. There was a lot of, I won't get into the details, but for a lot of reasons, when I was about 12, my brother went to live with my dad. And I didn't see him very much for the next couple of years. But around the age of 12, I remember my brother in our house in Thompson, Georgia, no P in Thompson, Thomson.
Yes, sir.
I mean, rocking Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden. He was always kind of a metalhead, and I never was.
Yeah.
But I remember him and it takes me back there. And I remember, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, nostalgia, they say nostalgia is a form of depression, and I get that, but I mean, nostalgia is an interesting thing because it just pulls at you and takes you back to a particular time and place, and it can just be like a warm bath. It can just be so comforting, but then it reminds you of how much time has passed, and it reminds you that we all got it coming.
Yes, sir. And music is like that, man. Music is a time capsule.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you back to that moment, those moments that stood out in your life. And, I said the same thing about whenever, several artists that I like have passed. Tom Petty was one of them. There's times I'll hear a Tom Petty song and it'll dawn on me and I'll think, I cannot believe he's dead.
Yeah, what was he? 60? I think 61.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Prince was another one,
yeah.
man. I mean, and Ozzy is just another one of those that he was just very, very prevalent in my young adult years. For me, anyway. That's because I didn't really get into Ozzy until the year after I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through a deep depression, and I started listening to Diary of a Madman. And I mean, I listened to that cassette over and over and over again one night, and I don't know, man. I know it's going to sound weird, but it lifted my spirits.
Oh, wow. I did that. See, I was doing the same thing with Pink Floyd. Like, yes. Pink Floyd, The Wall, got me through a bad time when I was 15, 16 years old.
Yes, sir.
And I know that doesn't sound reasonable, but I'm telling you it did.
Yeah.
I mean, because I felt like somebody understood. Somebody got it. Whoever this Pink Floyd fella is, he gets it. Because I'm 15 years old, and I think I'm comfortably numb. I got no idea what he's talking about, but I'm comfortably numb just like you.
Right.
You know who else did? John Lennon did that for me.
John Lennon?
Because I reached back to John Lennon, and oh, my goodness gracious. John Lennon, some of his solo stuff. Anyway.
And it's just the sound of that time.
It's right.
The sound of that time that gets me, man.
Well, this will get you. This got me dusty, right? I mean, the old, is it dusty in here? This is from, I guess, a couple of weeks ago. It was the last performance that, I mean, Ozzy was on stage just a couple of weeks ago.
Just a couple of weeks ago, man. He couldn't stand up.
He was in a chair, and I mean, and guys, people are in this audience crying.
Dude, you can't play this song.
People are in this audience crying.
Yes, sir.
Listening to him and singing along, and most of the people in the audience singing along to this song weren't alive when he first came out with it.
Right.
I mean, packed out stadium. Man, oh man.
Zach Wilde wrote that, man. Zach Wilde is a hell of a songwriter.
This is so good. That's it's 5131 says it's cathartic to listen to dark and heavy music. There's something to be said for that. And Brad writes in and says, Ken Weaver nailed it. Diary of a Man got me through some real bleep in my life. R.I.P. Ozzy. It was, and 82, everybody's saying who their artist was that got him through. I mean, everybody's got somebody.
Yep.
And I'm just here to thank the Lord that, unlike Jackson Williams, our artist is not like Taylor Swift or some crap.
Mine is not Taylor Swift.
Whose is yours, Jackson?
It's probably a rapper.
Who's getting you through the tough times?
And when I was like 15 or 16,
Yes, sir.
it's probably a rapper.
Don't tell me it's
probably
the White Rabbit Eminem.
It's probably Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
Oh well,
I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan.
Look, we don't make a matter of taste, a matter of fact on the Matt Murphy Show. Too many people do that. You'll notice that. I got a lot of strong opinions about a lot of things, but if you say you like ice cream, I'm not going to say, "Oh, ice cream's horrible."
Right.
No. So if you say you like Kendrick Lamar, good for you.
Yeah, there's
That's
a reason.
great.
Yeah, he speaks.
Yeah.
Whatever he's rapping speaks to Brother Jackson.
Old
exactly
Kendrick
right.
is more my speed. His new stuff's good, but his old stuff was my stuff back like 10 years ago.
Like on the Oz, the story was always out there about the bat thing, but he did it, but he didn't think it was a real bat.
Right.
I think that the backstory. Do you know this story, Jackson?
No.
That he bit a bat's head off on stage?
What?
Ozzy Osbourne bit a bat's head off on stage. An actual bat.
Why?
Well, because, his concerts were crazy like that. And I forget how he became so associated with a bat, but somebody threw a bat on stage.
Was it a live bat or a dead bat?
Probably a dead
It
bat.
was dead. I think it was
Well, it's
dead.
definitely dead after he bit the head off.
Well, but Ozzy thought it was a fake bat.
Right. Because there were a bunch of rubber bats back then. I remember for Halloween.
Oh, yeah. And I
Everybody
don't
had
know
rubber
that,
bats.
I don't know if that happened often or not. If somebody knows the complete story, you're welcome to call in. But bottom line is, they threw it on stage. Ozzy thought it was fake. He picks it up. He bites the head off. Live bat, or real bat, blood everywhere. He had to go get,
He had to get rabies treatments.
I think he had to have rabies treatments as a result.
He did.
And an icon, an aspect of an icon was born. Bit the head off a bat. And, so when we were growing up, all of that backstory was either unknown or omitted, and all we knew is that Ozzy Osbourne, by the time that story got to young 13-year-old Matt Murphy or whatever, Ozzy Osbourne went on stage, somebody handed him a live bat, and he just bit the head right off of the bat and ate it. That's what we believed. Anyway. So maybe so. I've always pushed back the. I had a good friend who has passed on now. We were in Birmingham, and he was a big believer in it. Oh, it comes in threes. He would always tell me, Murphy, did you hear? And I'm like, what comes in threes? Like death comes in threes? I said, can't you always split it up in three? I was like, what's the time frame? When do we have to wait till?
It just comes in threes.
That's exactly what he was. It just comes in threes. And I'm like, what do you mean? Is it within a week? Well, it comes in threes. And I was like, well, does it come in threes like it's rock and roll stars, or is it authors, or is it like, other types of entertainer, politicians? Murphy, it comes in threes.
It
Okay, all right.
It just does.
It comes in threes. Okay. All right, fine.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man. But anyway, for a lot of us of this generation, I mean, that's just a sign of the times. We're losing a lot of those folks that rose to prominence back in the early and mid-1970s. Lots to talk about today. The CBS Late Show story simply will not go away. We'll discuss that today. I might have a news story update for you. The Department of Justice and the Attorney General say that they will be meeting with how do I pronounce her name again?
Ghislaine.
Ghislaine?
I've heard it Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
But I have heard people use the soft G, too.
Ja or Guh?
Ja or Guh.
But it's I'm going to go Ghislaine. I'm going to go whatever you go with, Ken.
Yeah, the S is silent, kind of
right.
like that president of South Africa that I butchered his name that time. Ramaphosa. No, the P was silent.
You will never
No, the H was silent. It's Ramaphosa. I was calling him Fosa.
never forget that.
I won't, dude.
And
I won't.
And if you handed me a map of Africa, put a gun to my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you where he's from. But I know that the H is silent.
H is silent where he's from, boys.
Yeah, that's the way they roll. Ghislaine.
Yeah.
Ghislaine. All right, I'm going to go with Ghislaine Maxwell. Anyway, the Department of Justice and the Attorney General, they're meeting. Hunter Biden, I'm beginning to believe the Hunter Biden story is just a distraction. And I'm wondering if this is not intentional. Because this bombshell that dropped last Friday is not getting any attention on the mainstream media networks for good reason. And we're going to pay some very specific attention to it today. Now, we can chew bubblegum, as we like to say, and walk down the street at the same time.
Sir.
We got a little diverted with the news story yesterday. That took over like the first hour of the show. And that's fine. That was a big story that came down out of Nashville.
And we got some good insight on it, too.
Yeah, we did. I mean, the telephone calls that we had, and then the caller that was off air, that was, I don't want to out him, higher up, Jackson, that's fair to say,
Fair to say, yes.
in the construction industry there, confirmed to us that they believe they already have the culprit. They're just not saying who it was and what they're going to do with that individual. But we did learn. We originally thought that the diversity training came after the noose. No, it came before the noose, and it's almost as if the noose was a response to the stupidity of the diversity training that the people were going through. And I understand I'm putting motive behind what happened, but I think that's fair. But I've got a story that all right, we're going to go to a break. When I come back, I have a story that I cannot tell you about, but I'm going to tease.
All right.
And this could be, Ken, if my information's true, I have two sources that are telling me this.
Okay.
If my information's true, this is the biggest economic development story since I have been in Nashville, Tennessee.
Cool.
And I'm including the new stadium. This is huge.
Okay.
If true. I'll tell you what I can next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I just went over to the website that I invite you guys to go to every time I talk about Stoltzco, and that's STOLTZCO.com, Stoltzco.com, STOLTZCO.com. And I'm looking at one of the most beautiful structures that I think I've ever seen. It is an absolutely gorgeous barn dominium built by Stoltzco. It's beautiful. The coloration, the wood trim, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's got a great brick facade. I mean, it's just a gorgeous example of what they do every day in Middle Tennessee at Stoltzco. If you're looking for a pole barn, they can handle it. Garage space, no problem. Equestrian space, event space, they've got you covered. And, of course, the ever-popular barn dominium. These are structures that are less expensive than a traditional house build, but they're just as quality, and they give you the ability to do so many different things with both both the exterior and there's so much to do on the interior, and there's so much to do on the exterior as well. I just want you to call Stoltzko, sit down with them at no obligation, and talk to them about what you're planning to do with your property. If you've got, for example, mother-in-law, father-in-law that eventually will be living with you, or you're looking for a fun space to create a man space or a she shed, they've got you covered at Stoltzko. Stoltzco.com or 615-622-5992. 622-5992 for Stoltzko.
The passing of Ozzy Osbourne and the Justice Department pushing for the release of grand jury material in the Jeffrey Epstein cases. These stories and more coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Listen, we've got lots to talk about, lots to get into. Hopefully, we have a number of guests to tell you about a little bit later on. Frankly, right now, my most important guest is on the line, and I want to get to the news so we can get to Senator Marsha Blackburn coming up right after the newscast. We'll talk about the bombshell that was dropped by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, last week. The ultimate results of the big, beautiful bill that became the big, beautiful law. I don't believe we've had an opportunity to talk to Senator Blackburn since that went through. Plus, the rescission bill. And the possibility of rescission part 2, which is pretty cool. Rescission defunded NPR and PBS. Rescission part 2 is expected to defund some of the federal aspects of the Department of Education. We'll discuss all with Senator Marsha Blackburn next on Super Talk.
3:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and it looks like that cool down from that thunderstorm that moved through is holding. Right now, 82 degrees. Heat index only 87 here in Nashville. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Entertainment news. Iconic heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne has passed away at the age of 76. His family in a statement said he passed away this morning. He was with family and surrounded by love. Osbourne, also known for the reality show about his family, which aired on MTV in the early 2000s. With more on that, here's Chris Connolly.
Creating the very genre of heavy metal with Black Sabbath, the idea of the frontman, the sound of the band, the topics it covered. And then when he went solo, continuing those successes and creating this kind of antic, hellion concept around him as a frontman, and then reinventing reality television at the turn of the century and giving MTV the kind of ratings it had never had.
Ozzy last performed in Nashville on February 16th, 2011 at Bridgestone as part of his Scream tour. He was joined by Slash for that show. In our nation's capital, the Justice Department pushing for the release of grand jury material in the Jeffrey Epstein case, but federal judges are responding that's not so simple.
Two New York-based federal judges say before they'll even consider releasing grand jury material from the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell cases, prosecutors will have to meet the court's requirements. The Justice Department will have to spell out a broader legal rationale for taking the extraordinary step and put forward proposed redactions to the grand jury testimony. The judges have also invited comment from victims and from Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for her role in the recruiting and trafficking of minors.
That's Stephen Portnoy and the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we've got crashes. Glencliff, 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South. Capitol View, a crash, 40 eastbound near Church Street. 65 northbound after Rosa Park. 65 northbound before Wedgwood. That's really backing things up there between 440 and the South Loop downtown. Then we got 40 westbound at Charlotte Pike. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right. So I promised you some news. I can't say everything about it, but I've got a couple of sources talking to me about an absolutely explosive economic development story that is about to drop next week that will involve the entire state of Tennessee and more specifically the metro Nashville area. I'll tell you everything I can after we have a great conversation with Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator Blackburn joins us on the Murphy Show hotline. Always good opportunity to catch up with her and find out what's going on from her perspective in Washington, D.C. Senator, good afternoon. Welcome in.
Well, thank you for having me back on. And yes, indeed, we've been busy up here. And I told President Trump on Friday night when we were over at the White House, I said, we are not tired of winning. Keep it coming.
Well, I mean,
like the fact, yeah.
I have characterized, Senator, the first 6 months of the Trump second term, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or overstate it. I don't know of another second term that has been better than what we've experienced in just 6 months. What about you?
I agree with that. You know, he truly was, he felt so called to this after the assassination attempt in Butler. And he has come into office determined not to waste a single day, a single hour, single minute. And he continues to push forward with executive orders. He's making certain that we are filing bills and moving forward with those components. We have put the foundation in place for the economic agenda by passing the big, beautiful bill. We are reducing federal spending by pushing forward with the rescissions, and we are beginning appropriations this week. And what you're going to see is some of those appropriation bills are going to actually come in at 10%, 20% less than what they were spending last year. Here's the thing. It is important for us to do this so we get on a Trump budget and Trump numbers and get off of a Biden budget or a Biden budget CR.
Mm-hmm. Oh, amen. I could not agree more. I want to talk about the future rescission bill that we've heard about today. Before we look forward, though, Senator, I want to look backward just a little bit, and I think this is very important. Our Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, released information this past Friday, and it confirms what many of us, and I would believe yourself included, believed happened, but now we have receipts about what happened after Donald Trump was elected president of the United States in 2016. In November, December, and even into January of that year, apparently the apparatus of our intelligence of the state, the Department of Justice, FBI, and other means were used against the incoming president. And I just want you to speak to this. And a lot of our listening audience in Middle Tennessee want to know, well, what should be done about this if it is determined that, for example, Clapper or Brennan lied to Congress, or if it is determined that this was an actionable result of a White House meeting. What do you say about it, and where do you think all of this goes, Senator?
Yes, and first of all, I think that it truly is appalling. This is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this. And you're right that D&I Gabbard brought forward 100 documents. So people can't say, well, that's anecdotal or hearsay. No, the documents were filed with the Department of Justice, and it details how the Obama administration really laid the groundwork for the Russia collusion hoax. They manufactured this. Now, in laying that groundwork, they knew that Hillary Clinton was concocting this dossier or having the dossier concocted. And they still moved forward with this, going to brief President Trump. And they knew at that time that all of this was manufactured, that it was not something that had been a form of intelligence. So with that said, I have to tell you, Matt, I think what you will see is there will be some indictments. I expect that there are prosecutions. Anyone who weaponized the government against a political appointment or a political opponent and pushed to carry out this conspiracy, they should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Well, so let's certainly hope as the information continues to come out. I know that Congress will do its due diligence, do its oversight, and the Department of Justice, let us hope, will do their jobs as well. You brought up the big, beautiful bill, now the big, beautiful law. And I had my concerns, Senator. I know you did too, because it does spend at levels that I think it would create additional money going to the debt, going to the national deficit over the 10-year term. I was comforted when I saw the rescission bill come along. So I would ask you, give us your overall thoughts about spending in the big, beautiful bill. The good, I believe, outweighs the bad, and I think most Americans agree with that. But, I mean, I love seeing the rescission because this is the pullback on spending that I think fiscal conservatives are looking for.
Well, you're right. And on the big, beautiful bill, actually, CBO, who's always rung on their numbers and said this was going to add $3 trillion to the debt, came back after the bill was passed and said, well, actually, it will cut the deficit by $450 billion. So even they admit that it is going to have the effect of reducing the deficit and the debt. So that was the good news. Now, the rescission bills, this is how we cut into the discretionary spending. And we got the first one through, and everybody knows we took care of defunding on the Corporation for Public Broadcast and programs like vegan food in Zambia and voter ID in Haiti, and those programs that needed to come out of USAID. So all that's done. And rescissions is basically taking a red ink pen, drawing a line through spending, and it is a one-year action that multiplies over the 10-year life of that budget. So a $9 billion cut becomes a $90 billion savings over a 10-year period of time. Now, the next rescission bill that is on its way to us is going to deal with some of the defunding that is necessary for closing down the U.S. Department of Education and other domestic programs. You know, there are a lot of programs that are duplicative. And you look at some of these Department of Commerce programs, there may be 8 different programs that deal with a certain form of grants and things. And so this is all simplification. But what it will do, we will have the opportunity to end those programs, and we draw a line through that. And as I said, with the appropriations process, they are even doing appropriations rescissions as they're working on the budget. And some of these items are going to come forward, and they're going to be less. They may be 10 to 20% less than what was actually spent last year. But all of this is going to help get us on a Trump budget and a Trump number and get us off of a Biden budget and a Biden number.
I love it. I love it. I know you only have a couple of minutes left, and I want to hit 2 big topics. One,
Sure.
Your bill that goes after certain states, particularly like California is the greatest example, for attempting to obstruct what is clearly a federal prerogative with regard to immigration and customs enforcement. Obviously, the law is on the side of the Trump administration and people that believe that we've allowed our borders to be far too porous. We seem to have solved that border issue, and now we're solving the issue of the criminal element that's currently in the country, getting them back to their countries of origin. Just tell us about that bill real quick.
Well, what we're doing with the bill is what we found out is when you have to call in the National Guard to restore order and public safety to an area, these cities are not reimbursing the Department of Defense. And so the Tennessee taxpayers end up paying for the Guard or the Marines or somebody to have to go into L.A. and protect federal buildings. So this allows the Department of Defense to bill those cities and charge them for the fact that we're having to send in the troops to protect federal property and to protect innocent citizens. So we are working that bill through. It will probably travel with some of our defense authorization and that funding. But the thing is, these cities who are not going to protect their citizens, and you have to call in the troops to protect property and protect people, then they should pay for that. They should be reimbursing the U.S. taxpayer for that.
Thoughts on our president seems to have shifted his tactic regarding Russia, and I applaud it. Here's a man who felt like he could perhaps get Putin to the negotiation table. He now feels like Vladimir Putin has not been an honest actor in how he has communicated with the United States of America. Now he's kind of shifting tactics. Do you support this shifting strategy, and where do you see it going, Senator?
Where we see this going is giving Putin another deadline to get to the negotiating table, or he's going to face tariffs and sanctions. And he right now is selling oil to Brazil, to China. You look at the people that are doing business with them. If they get sanctioned and they're not able to buy that oil, then that begins to starve them of the money that is necessary for them to be able to fund their military. Now, what President Trump has been successful in doing is getting NATO to agree to buy weapons, armaments, and supplies from the U.S. and give those or supply them to Ukraine, sell them to Ukraine. This is not something that the U.S. is giving away, but they will be able to get access to items to protect themselves. And, of course, you've got some of the drones, some of the Patriot missiles, those things that they have needed, and NATO is stepping in to do their part and to help.
Well, Senator, always an informative conversation. We appreciate you spending time with us in Middle Tennessee, speaking to the many, many voters that elected you to the United States Senate. I know that Senate break is scheduled to come up soon. Any big plans for the break, Senator? Any public events or any maybe announcements or anything?
We're going to be in and out around the state. We've got lots of work to do. We've spent a whole lot of time here in D.C., and President Trump is trying to get us to give up the August work period and stay in D.C. and pass some of these nominations. So I'm saying let's work overtime, let's start earlier, let's work later into the evening, and let's get these nominations done so that we can be in our states seeing our citizens during the month of August.
See, Senator you're so seasoned. You're not taking any of Murphy's bait. You're not taking any of my bait here on those questions. Thank you for the time. We appreciate you.
Matt.
We'll talk to you again.
Bye.
All right, take care. She's not doing it. She's not having any of it. You hear me in there? Because, I mean, is the worst Jackson?
Yes.
It's the worst. It's such a badly kept secret. You probably know.
What's the secret?
Well, ask Weaver what the secret is.
Weaver, what's the secret?
The rumor. What's the rumor about Marsha Blackburn?
Oh, she's going to run for governor.
She's going to run for governor.
Oh.
And see, I feel like if she's going to run for governor, she's got to announce it at some point. And, August recess coming up, so I throw that little August question. You see what I did there, Dad?
I saw what you were doing.
Throw that little August. You got any public events going on?
That's clever, Brother Murphy.
And you see what Marsha did with it? She just swatted it away.
Yep.
Didn't take any of the bait.
No.
Threw it right back at you.
No,
Well, I mean, usually, they say something like, well, I'm very busy right now taking care of the American people in my role as a Tennessee U.S. Senator.
That's exactly what she's. Well, we might work through that break, Murphy. You never know. What she said. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just, you hear those rumors, and you want to try to get the scoop. 51 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Alpha and Omega, man, oh man, they're not new. I mean, obviously, computers have been around a minute or two. And Alpha and Omega, Michael and his team, they've been here since 1998. But things have changed so much since then, as you might expect. With 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week protection from evolving threats, compliance for all industries, business continuity, a fast local help desk. They do it all at Alpha and Omega Computer Consultants. Folks, if you're a small business owner, you might think that cyber attacks are something for those big boys. Not true. Cyber attacks can happen to anybody in any business, and more often than not, they're happening to small businesses. We just don't hear about them because, well, your business is small. You need to protect yourself. Alpha and Omega does just that. If you're worried about computer systems in your business, if you're worried about IT, if you're worried about all of these things that you ought not be worried about, that is taking up busy time for you to get busy with your business. Call Alpha and Omega and let them handle all of this, from the internet to IT to printers to your computer systems themselves. They handle it all. They will take care of computers from, well, Alpha to Omega. That's what it's all about, right? Alpha and Omega. Call them 615-784-0096, 784-0096, or online at a&o.net. That's a&o.net. Dr. Brian McLaughlin is now the head honcho over there at the Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center, taking over for the retiring Dr. Poss. I think that's happening at the end of the month. I keep promising to call over there and make sure that I know what's going on. We need to get Dr. Poss on to say thank you for his many years of service, and thank you to Dr. Brian McLaughlin for continuing that same level of customer service presented by Dr. Poss for so many years. Dr. McLaughlin, a U.S. Army veteran, a dad, a business owner. Heck, he even keeps bees. I don't even know how he does it all. Plus, he keeps you sleeping better in the night through a form of sleep apnea prevention that many of you may not have heard of. It's an FDA-approved oral device. It seems so simple, but it works. And I know from personal experience because I use one on a daily basis. The device is like a mouthpiece, like, you would wear in football, or a retainer. You put it in your mouth as you sleep. You don't notice it after a night or two. And it gently holds the jaw forward. You breathe better. The airway stays open. You sleep through the night. You don't snore nearly as much or at all, and it is improving your health as you sleep. I mean, it's just a great device, and it's in network with most insurance. Go to TennesseeSleep.com to find out more. TennesseeSleep.com. When you schedule that appointment, tell them you heard about them on the Matt Murphy Show. It's Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center.
Well, we're going to be covering the passing of heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne. Also, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard sending multiple referrals to the Justice Department. Hear what Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn has to say about one of them particularly. And Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett successfully put a motion through today pertaining to the Epstein files. These stories and more at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That is on the way, friends, at 4 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Ozzy, well, that was abrupt. Gosh, Jackson. I feel, if you hit it like that, I feel lonely. I feel cold and alone and a little bit frightened.
Finger slipped. Oopsie.
But that music underneath me, that's like slipping into a warm bath. That's like having a nice warm glass of milk when you can't get to sleep at night. 615-737-9986. I have not forgotten about my tease. I'll give that to you. We continue talking about the bombshell from last Friday. Interesting conversation with Senator Marsha Blackburn there for a good 10 or 12 minutes or so. Very excited about the new rescission bill that would continue some of the federal level cuts, overspending, if you will, on the federal level that we need to accomplish. I still remain steadfast in my belief that the biggest existential threat to the United States of America is the fact that we overspend by trillions of dollars on an annual basis. All of that to say, we've got lots else to get to. Jeff wants to throw a comment in about Ozzy. Let's let him in before we get to the top of the hour news. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, thanks for letting me talk. So this is called the Nashville No-Show story, which I was part of. So around 1978, Black Sabbath was touring on the Never Say Die album, and their manager was Sharon Osbourne's father. And so somebody in their wisdom decided that they were going to have a band called Van Halen open up for Black Sabbath, who was red hot at the time. So they come and Van Halen comes out and just blows the doors off the municipal auditorium. And so we sit there forever and ever waiting, and eventually this guy walks out on stage, goes up to the mic and goes, "We're sorry to inform y'all, but Black Sabbath will not perform tonight." And people apparently had been preparing for this. Somebody threw a fire extinguisher up on the stage, and people were just going crazy. So they come and they come back, and say they're going to perform like on a Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because they're going to hop on a plane to go to Louisville to do a show that night. So Van Halen's back with them again. They come out and just blow the doors off the auditorium again, and Black Sabbath comes on. And after about 2 songs, everybody starts booing them. And about 4 or 5 songs into it, they all walk off the stage. Ozzy Osbourne says, "F you, Nashville." Oh. And people started throwing crap.
Well, I mean, that's on brand. That's on brand.
Yeah, they started throwing crap at him. And so so then later on.
We got to go quick. Got to go quick. Yeah. Got to go quick.
He went into a hotel and he passed out, and they couldn't find him.
Well, Jeff, that's a great story. I'm sorry to speed it up, but I got to go quick. It's time for the news on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Well, that thunderstorm that moved through early cooled us off, but it looks like the heat is back on. We're back up to 88 degrees right now over at BNA. Feels like temperature is 93 and continues to climb. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Entertainment news. Generals gathered in their masses. Iconic heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. His family in a statement says he passed away this morning. He was with family, surrounded by love. Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy Osbourne was 19 when he co-founded Black Sabbath. Then he got fired from Black Sabbath for drinking and drugging too much, went on to an even more successful solo career managed by his wife, Sharon. He's a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Osbourne also had 1 Grammy. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard sending multiple referrals to the Department of Justice for prosecution, including claims that Obama administration officials manufactured and politicized intelligence related to Russian interference in the 2016 election. Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy show about an hour ago.
I think what you will see is there will be some indictments. I expect that there are prosecutions.
The referral based on documents declassified by Gabbard, which she claims provide, quote, overwhelming evidence supporting these claims. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell to appear for a deposition. The motion passed the Government Operations Subcommittee unanimously today. Here's Jay O'Brien.
She's in federal custody, so they have to work with the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons in order to make this happen. And we really don't know what, quote unquote, expeditiously means in the eyes of this committee, but there is at least some formal effort. James Comer, chair of the Oversight Committee, a powerful committee up here on Capitol Hill, there is at least some effort to bring Ghislaine Maxwell before that panel. And it stands really in contrast with what we've heard repeatedly out of the president telling congressional Republicans to move on here.
Now, President Trump says he didn't know anything about it, but says it sounds appropriate to him, and he has no concerns about it. Right now in Nashville, Coldplay set to hit the stage tonight at Nissan Stadium at a time when lawmakers are looking to crack down on ticket scalping and scams, adding to costs.
The hype surrounding tonight's concert at Nissan Stadium for Coldplay, it's real, I'll tell you firsthand. And after talking to those concert goers in downtown Nashville, so was the shock that set in for them after they were able to finally secure a ticket.
And that shock comes from the pricing they saw. People we spoke to paid on average over $500 a ticket for the upper bowl of Nissan Stadium. While ticket costs have rose over 20% in the past 2 years alone, Tennessee Representative Caleb Hemmer says he's trying to keep bots and scammers away from consumers to give others a fair shot at securing a seat.
So this is highly illegal. It's very technologically advanced software that these groups are using. And we don't want that happening to Tennessee consumers.
That's Channel 4's Steve Mailing reporting. And the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. We got lots of stuff in the way on our way home this afternoon. Let's start on I-24, shall we? We've got a crash reported by police, 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway South and Glencliff. Downtown, we got a stalled vehicle, and it's blocking the right two lanes, 24 eastbound over on the East Loop. Then we've got 24 eastbound past Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Highway Patrol says there's a crash there in Clarksville. And then on the West Loop downtown, we got 40 westbound near I-65 west. All right, crash on I-40. This is going eastbound near Church Street, also westbound at Charlotte Parkway, and then over on the West Loop, 40 westbound near the 65 West exit 208. And on 65, got a crash northbound after Rosa Parks, northbound before Wedgwood Avenue in the Belmont area. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friend. Oh, my apologies, sir. I did not mean to interrupt your Kroger commercial. I was very excited to tell you about Grace Point Healthcare. Grace Point Healthcare is an affordable, convenient, and comprehensive way for you to get a direct pay primary care provider in your life. Why is this important? Because it costs you less money. Because you save, because you know exactly what you're spending, and you have the comfort of knowing that insurance companies are not getting in the way between a successful doctor-patient relationship. When they say modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way, that's what they're talking about, is the doctor-patient relationship is kind of a reset to the way that it used to be, to the way that it ought to be. And right now, you've heard us promote the Smart Care Plan, free office visits, basic labs for $69 a month. The Big Beautiful Bill is offering you and your family big, beautiful savings. You can use your HSA account to pay for your Smart Care Plan, up to $150 a month for individuals and $300 a month for families. What about that? Friends, back to school's around the corner, too. And you're invited to beat the rush and go ahead and get school or sports physicals taken care of for your kids who are in school. Call 599-6868, 599-6868. It's modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way at Grace Point. There is movement on the Epstein front with the Department of Justice meeting with, Ghislaine. I think I got it right. Ghislaine, did I get it right?
That's way to go, Brother Murphy.
Did I do that right, Ken? I mean, you'd tell me if I didn't.
Well, you did it, brother.
Ghislaine Maxwell. They're meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, and the Department of Justice says that should happen pretty soon. Whether that's going to be AG Pam Bondi, probably not Pam Bondi, probably an assistant attorney general or a deputy attorney general or whatnot. And Donald Trump says, yeah, that's all good. In the meantime, the Department of Justice has called for the unsealing of grand jury testimony. So we're getting movement on the Epstein deal. And I guess this will shut up the big lips over at hashtag Never CNN and whatnot, because they won't stop yapping about it to the exclusion of the real bombshell, which is coming down from the Director of National Intelligence. We'll get into that in just a moment. But I made promises made, and it's time for promises to be kept. So, I'm not going to satisfy some of you. It is not often that I am told information. I mean, I'm a blabbermouth from way back. I have parlayed that into a fairly good living on the radio. So it is not like me to keep secrets from friends, and all of you are friends. But I got it from two different sources over the course of the last, 24 hours. I spoke to someone last night briefly about this, and then I talked to someone today that corroborated that conversation. And then I further spoke to someone who would not necessarily corroborate specifics of what I was saying, but to say that there are always new economic developments on the horizon, and who knows what might happen over the next course of 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever. All I can tell you is this. And if you have been paying attention to the news, if you have an understanding of what could dramatically change the landscape of Nashville in a way that would promote and highlight the good things that we have to offer, particularly tourists in our community, then maybe you've seen this is not a story that has not been in the headlines in the last several months. I will just say this. If this goes down the way that I was told earlier today, it is an economic development story that could generate a huge international buzz for this city. It is an economic development story that would be a blessing to the residents of this city in a lot of different ways. It is an economic development story that would not just coincide with what's happening in the downtown Nashville area, but would not just augment it, but would improve it exponentially, potentially. And it is supposedly, according to my sources, going to be made official and public very, very soon. I just want you to be ready for it. And look, it will not be without a certain amount of controversy. I expect lawsuits. I expect pushback. But I'm here. I'll tell you this, and I don't want to share too much. But the economic development that I'm talking about will reportedly cost the citizens of this community, the citizens of the state of Tennessee, exactly $0. And it will be an incredible benefit. It feels like science fiction, what we're talking about. In terms of timing, in terms of an ability to do it, in terms of how long it will take to do it. And I don't know if we're getting filled with a lot of smoke, but if you choose, as I do, to believe any of these things that I heard earlier today, it is as exciting as can be. And what I'm also hearing is that there are certain entities that ought to be on board that aren't. And we're going to just talk more about that over the next week or so. Look, this info is sneaking out there. Most of you are guessing it properly. I see you over there. I see all of you on the super text line, and the majority of you, I feel like so many people know. I should just go ahead and talk about it.
It's In-N-Out Burger, right?
In-N-Out Burger, future is now, baby. They're coming to Nash, and we get it animal style. And I just hurt my shoulder. Ow, I hurt. Ow.
Are you okay?
I just hurt myself.
Brother Murphy, you need to be careful.
I do. I don't need to. I'm good. I'm fine. I just did that, and I went, woo. I don't want to get in front of anybody. But we're working on getting the appropriate entities on the show next week. Just less than a week, and all will be known publicly. And look, if y'all want to call and guess, 615-737-9986. Give us a call and give us a guess. 615-737-9986. I mean, it's a free country. The First Amendment's still around. Y'all get to say whatever you want to say. I'm not violating any confidences by listening to what you might have to say. Now, it is not the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. I wish it were. You know, if our mayor and the city council were as forward-thinking as some of the people that are involved in this thing that I'm telling you about, they would be on top of this thing that I'm telling you about and on top of the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and they are apparently on top of neither. But that said, Patrick, we were kidding about In-N-Out. Some people think we were serious. Several people think we're serious. That's how everybody already knows that. We were kidding about In-N-Out, and we know that everybody knows. Their corporate headquarters will be in Nashville. The In-N-Out people are moving to Nashville. I get to see what the brew. Have you ever had an In-N-Out? You said you had In-N-Out.
Yeah,
right?
I've had In-N-Out,
and it's as advertised.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
it's a good burger.
Fine burger. Ken, you ever had In-N-Out burger?
Never had an In-N-Out burger.
You know, Ken, the last time a big old fancy burger joint came to town, I got in trouble. You're the one that got me in trouble.
Well, I didn't do it.
You remember I said
I didn't even know you.
Is this when y'all sent a Mac Maury?
Here's what I said. You didn't give me. No, I got. I just got told not to do that again by Mandus. Remember, I sent Maury. I told Maury that he needed to go out and do some investigative reporting.
Yeah.
And bring us back a banana pudding milkshake and a hamburger.
Whew.
And he said, well, what happens if I miss my 2:30? I said, I'll apologize to Brother Weaver for you. That was when I was brand new. That was trouble. I was asking for trouble. But, yeah, In-N-Out's coming. I'll buy us all. Y'all, when In-N-Out gets here, I'm buying the entire afternoon crew In-N-Out. I'll get somebody to bring it here. How about that?
I dig it.
Uh-huh. But, no, this is even better. This is even better.
In-N-Out's better, huh?
No, this news that I'm talking about that I can't really say a lot about, this news is better than In-N-Out.
Oh, I thought you were joking, and that's what you were doing.
No, In-N-Out. In-N-Out's great. In-N-Out's awesome. In-N-Out's fabulous. I'm telling you, next week there will be announcements that will seem futuristic in their nature. And there will be time frames that will seem next to impossible. And I'm very, very excited about what the possibilities are with this deal. And look, I'm a curmudgeon from way back, and there's 1,000 different ways that you can poke at this deal and ask questions. But what I am told is that it will cost the taxpaying citizen of this community nothing. Nothing. And the opportunity that it presents is astronomical in terms of continuing. Did you know that over the last year, I think this figure's right, that our tourism is down almost 20%? Now, you can claim, general economic malaise. You can claim whatever you want to claim. But our lifeblood in this community and in this state revolves around tourism. Whether it's going to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and the Smoky Mountains, whether it's going to see Graceland, or whether it's coming right here to Nashville, Tennessee, the birthplace of country music, home of the Grand Ole Opry, home of the Ryman Auditorium, and home to Lower Broadway. Woo girls abound.
Yeah.
I mean, but and we can pick on the woo girls all we want, but without the woo girls,
they're spending money.
They're spending money, and without the woo girls, your taxes are going up. That's the bottom line, y'all. If we don't continue to bring those things that continue to bring those folks and those wallets and those checkbooks, then, the government's going to want to get its bite somehow. And I'm here to tell you that this thing, it's a big thing. It's a fun thing.
And you know what it is.
And I know what it is.
Come on, man. Just give us a little hint. Nobody will know.
I want to so bad.
It's killing you, isn't it?
It really is. It's so good. I'm asking certain powers that be to come on the show next week.
Can I ask you who that is?
You can ask me. Yes, Ken. You can ask me.
Governor Lee.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got you caught the tricky right here. Who'd you say? Governor Lee. Huh. He hadn't been on the show in a while.
He hadn't been on in a long time.
I don't know if he even does.
The governor again.
I don't even know if he does talk radio anymore. He probably didn't like us anymore. It is not an amusement park, sadly. It is not the racetrack. And yes, property taxes are going up even with the woo girls. Thank you, Freddie O'Connell. But I don't know. I'll just many of you on the super text line are absolutely nailing it. But I made
it's going to be airborne pedal taverns
with little wings on them.
Yeah,
I made a promise to the two people that I talked to about this that if they provided some certain intimate details that I received, that I would be hush hush about it at least for the next couple of days. Now, if it starts leaking out everywhere, I feel like it's going to start leaking out everywhere. So why shouldn't I be the first to leak it?
Well, because then your sources aren't going to trust you anymore. You can't do that, Brother Murphy.
You're right, Ken. I mean, or could I?
Well, I mean, yeah.
I guess I could.
You could, but it might be your last story.
I've got a guess. They're installing pickleball courts at your old trailer park.
Oh, the Grand Old RV Resort,
Yes.
Convalescence Home, and Bat Meat Market. See, anytime you bring that up, you should have In the Ghetto ready to go because you know I'm going to say that, and you should have it. There you go. No, that's not true. Pickleball's too upscale for those folks. They just play spin the bottle over there. Yeah, it is. A lot of us want Major League Baseball to come to town. That's great. But many of you are nailing it. And y'all, the people that are doing this, for those of you that are nailing it, the people that are doing this are the ones that I trust to do it in the right way. It is not an untested thing.
I have an idea now, but I'm not going to say anything.
I'm just excited. I'm as excited. And y'all can guess if you want. 615-737-9986. We'll talk CBS and The Late Show and the stupidity of the liberal left, plus bombshell from the Department of National Intelligence. It's all on the way on Super Talk. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. J.K. and Erica Brister have not only become wonderful clients, they are not only owners of a wonderful business, but I would consider them wonderful friends, and they truly are. And I know for a fact that they love the United States of America and everything it represents. They love building their company and presenting to you an opportunity to get rid of pests. I mean, obviously, you don't go with U.S. Pest because they love America, but it's a good piece of gravy. To go on that delicious meal. I mean, you don't go with U.S. Pest because they're great Americans, but it's nice to know that they're great Americans and they hire fine people to work with U.S. Pest. But their company and what they do and the service that they provide is simply unmatched in the industry. 100% money-back guarantee on their termite protection, on their pest control, on their crawl space services. Just give them a call or go online to uspesta.com to find out more. I say two things about U.S. Pest. They love the United States of America, and they hate bugs. uspest.com or 590-1260, 590-1260.
Gonna have another report on the passing of legendary frontman of Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. Also, the former girlfriend, convicted co-conspirator of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, could make an appearance on Capitol Hill in the coming weeks. These stories and more coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. Now everybody is saying that I should whisper the news to Ken. And then Ken can break the story, and then I'm not violating anybody's trust.
I can cite sources familiar with the situation.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. I think that we've created a loophole. Although Jackson wants to continue guessing what it possibly might be.
Is Tootsie's adding a third floor?
I think they've already got a third.
I think they already did that.
Ah, nuts.
But I like the way you're thinking, though. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Many of you have the termination of Chris Hand, 8335. Govern your tongue.
Yes, sir.
Chris Hand's the finest thing this radio station's ever done since Matt Murphy.
I tell you what, brother, Chris Hand has got
Chad
the
Benson.
best bumper music. I love that old school rap he uses.
Does he?
Yes, sir.
Does he use the rap?
He does.
Jackson, if you ever get permanent status on this radio show, you're going to have to up your game in a lot of ways. You know that, right?
I figured.
I mean, we'd love to see some examples right now, frankly. I mean, Bell always told me that we legally couldn't do it. I was like, what do you mean we legally can't do it?
That is not correct.
Like every damn other show in America does it. I don't know. We've got to use these 4.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I feel like you're just being lazy?
He has them on a rotator, and that's what I've been playing. I built over on the zone side like a full music bed.
Well, when are we going to get a little of that action, Jackson?
It took me 6 months. So
See what I did there? Action, Jackson. I've been waiting on that one for
no
weeks.
Kendrick Lamar in this in y'all's system.
Listen, as long as it's funky and I can got a beat and we can groove to it, you do you in there, man. You do you.
I've got an idea what you're talking about, Brother Murphy, because I know what excites you. What really excites you.
I just love the idea.
And you said it's going to benefit the entire state.
I believe that, and I think that it will in terms of drawing people, because it is just such it's something like you've never seen before. But so I love the people behind it. I believe in the people behind it. So the curmudgeon side of me could easily say this will never happen. It'll never get off the ground. I could point you to a million different ways why it's going to get stymied. I could poo-poo it. But I'm not poo-pooing it because of the people that are behind it.
All right.
And the people that are behind it, by God, they get it done. Bill's got a guess. Tom's got a guess. I'm going to get to your guesses here in a minute.
All right.
Are the Grizzlies moving to Nashville?
I don't know. We've already got Black Bears.
Yeah. You mean like Grizzly Bears?
No, like the NBA team.
Like the Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah.
No. We're getting that WNBA team. We don't need all the.
Oh, we leaked it, everybody.
Oh, that's not the story.
That's it.
Although several have asked. No, Dolly's not coming to town. She's already in town.
Yeah, Dolly lives here.
Trump's moving the nation's capital to Nashville.
Wouldn't that be something? I mean, he's got him. Kid Rock had let him borrow his little White House up there on that big hill. It's time for news. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. As far as the traffic goes, boy, that thunderstorm that passed over parts of downtown about an hour and a half ago really cooled things off, but we've been heating up ever since. We're at 88 degrees real temperature right now, but the feels like is at 93. Got the full forecast and traffic again in 5 minutes. Entertainment news.
What is this that stands before me?
Ozzy Osbourne, legendary frontman of Black Sabbath and pioneering figure in heavy metal, has died at the age of 76. His family confirming his passing in a statement released today, stating he was with his family and surrounded by love. And the former girlfriend, convicted co-conspirator of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, could make an appearance on Capitol Hill in the coming weeks as calls for the Epstein files and questions surrounding the so-called client list grow. ABC Washington correspondent Perry Russom tells us Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanchard arrested in a sit-down with the incarcerated socialite.
He says if Ghislaine has any information that is relevant to the DOJ or FBI, they want to hear from her. And it appears that Maxwell's attorney is open to this idea, saying today that they are in discussions with the government. He says, quote, Ghislaine will always testify truthfully. And this is a woman that a lot of people want to hear from. We heard from Epstein's former attorney over the weekend on Fox News, calling Ghislaine the Rosetta Stone of information, saying basically she knows everything. And it appears some members of Congress also want to hear from her.
Tonight in Nashville, the school board preparing to settle a multi-years lawsuit. Channel 4's Lydia Fielder tells us.
A source tells WSMV the district plans to settle for $6.5 million, but the district is still denying any wrongdoing in this. According to that suit, MMPS Director of Schools Dr. Adrienne Battle, when she was on board, asked to cut $100 million from the budget. Several employees then lost their positions and sued. A district spokesperson says they decided to settle to avoid further legal costs. The board is expected to discuss this tonight and likely to vote on that settlement.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got some crashes out there. Metro Police say there's a crash 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. And then over on the East Loop going eastbound at downtown, the right two lanes are blocked right there near Shelby Avenue. Also 24 eastbound in Clarksville, just past Wilma Rudolph. Got a crash there, Highway Patrol reporting. Back here in Nashville, Metro Police say there's a crash 40 eastbound near Church Street. And they say there's 165 northbound after Rosa Parks. Another 165 northbound before Wedgwood. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Let's get down to it, folks. Are you tired of a health insurance plan that feels like a math test with confusing percentages, surprise bills, fine print on the back that's so small you need a magnifying glass? Let me make it simple for you. At Cover Nash with Shane Ring, they have a new nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to choose your doctors anywhere in the United States of America without the headaches, with only a $250 deductible. You heard me correctly. A $250 deductible, a flat copay after the deductible, just $50 for any doctor's visit, even specialists. Outpatient surgery, just a $250 copay. Hospital stay with only a $1,000 copay. That's all. I mean, these are actual numbers given to me by Shane Ring, the man that you can trust when it comes to your health care and health insurance. Preventative and wellness care, that's free because it's ACA compliant and it covers your colonoscopy, your mammogram, your physical, etc. With nationwide PPO coverage, with no hidden fees and no back-end bills. Talk to Shane about this plan. This is real. CoverNash.com. That's CoverNash.com. 615-465-0023. 465-0023. Cover Nash. Health insurance made simple, finally. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Super Tease 99.7 WTN. Matt Murphy Show in progress. It is 4:40. Less than an hour from now, we'll get into nincompoops in the news. Donald Trump's no nincompoop. He had a few things to say about the scandal, the bombshell presented by Tulsi Gabbard. This happening last week. We'll share more with you. And listen, I was, Mark Levin follows our show. And Mark Levin is called the Great One for good reason. Have you ever listened to his show, Jackson?
Occasionally.
I mean,
I've heard it.
I do a fairly good Mark Levin, my friend. What? What are you, a dope?
Can I ask Mark Levin what the big news is?
You want to know the big? Ask Murphy. What am I supposed to know about it? You think I know?
Is it Hunter Biden's book tour?
I'm in a bunker in Virginia, for God's sakes. I'm working on the real news. Anyway, what did you say?
Is it Hunter Biden's book tour?
It is not Hunter Biden's book tour. It has nothing. Can you have Ken explain the feels like temperature? Because it seems to me the thermometer will tell you the actual temperature and that it feels like where it is located, something like, I don't understand your question. And I'm sorry that I began reading it. But no offense to you, 6702. Bob,
I'm sorry that I began reading it. It's so crazy.
I am. I couldn't get out. I'm going to try.
In other words, no.
I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try it one more time. I might regret this. Can you have Ken explain the feels like temperature? Because it seems to me that the thermometer will tell you what the actual temperature is, and what it feels like where it is located sounds like something a Democrat would tell you. Don't believe what you see, believe what I'm telling you. I'll take this one, Ken. So I understand the heat index is a thing. I think we all understand that scientifically that's a thing. That if it is 85 degrees with no humidity, it will feel a certain way. And if it is 85 degrees with 50% humidity, it will feel considerably hotter than it does if it's no humidity. But they have parlayed this into scaring the hell out of folks, and they've decided that they're just going to go with the real feels, they call it, because it's more explosive when they say, it's going to feel like it's 187 degrees outside. When it's not really 187 degrees outside.
It's hot, though.
I mean, it's hot. Yeah, it's hot. I get it. I'm wearing short breeches. You wearing short pants?
Oh yeah, I haven't touched a pair of sweatpants in 3 months.
What about long pants?
You wearing short pants in there?
I got short pants. I start wearing short pants in probably March.
I know, and people go, man, y'all wear short pants to work? Yeah, we picked correctly. We picked a job that they let us wear short breeches.
Well, and I took a listener's advice who one time said, in Tennessee, it's short pants till December.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. If you see me in long breeches this time of year, I got a meeting.
I started here in August of 2022. First day, came in, button up, long pants. It was August, middle August, hot, really hot.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody pulled me to the side and said, son, don't you know you work in radio? They can't see us. That was the last day I wore long breeches.
That's great news. You know you're in the right place.
I used to wear a slack shirt and a tie every day whenever I first got here.
I did too.
And then that's what Dan Manda said. He said, nobody sees you. And I said, okay.
Well, not here, but I think I've told the story that when I got my job in Birmingham, Alabama in 2002, I was in a coat and tie when I interviewed. And so I got the job. I was doing 9 to noon as a talk show host, and I was doing news in the afternoon. I did double duty. And I wore a tie every day. And finally, the general manager said, why are you wearing a tie every day? And I said, well, here's the way I figured it. When you interviewed me and you gave me the job, what was I wearing? He goes, well, you were wearing a coat and tie. And I was like, I figured part of what you bought was the coat and tie. So until you tell me otherwise, you get the coat and tie. And he goes, stop wearing a tie. And I was like, yes, sir.
Yes,
Never wore a tie again.
Yes, sir.
I think people would be shocked at what we wear to work on like an average day. Not you, because you're on camera, but me.
I mean, you wear big T-shirts and basketball shorts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every day.
Sneakers. Yep.
Yeah, every day.
It's awesome.
Thank you for the Levin. Yes, Murphy does not wear jorts. I'm not a Florida Gators fan. Florida Gators wear jean shorts. Matt Murphy does not wear jean shorts. I don't wear wife beaters. I don't wear gold chains. That's in Florida Gators. They're down there in Jacksonville or wherever, Gainesville, and we don't do that up here. Okay? So y'all just leave that crap elsewhere.
Wearing shorts.
I mean, Gators wear jean shorts, man. Don't do all that. So a lot of guesses, and many of them correct, many of them not so correct. I have one more guess. Is Mac coming back? Mac is not coming back. We love Mac Morey, and he seems to be doing great out in KC. Taylor Swift dunking booth? No. Major golf course for PGA? No. Casinos? I wish.
Ooh, that would be sick.
I would love to have casinos in downtown Nashville. I'd
miss a lot of work.
I'm a libertarian with a small L, but that L gets a lot bigger when you talk about freedom to do with your money what you choose. And I don't know why our quote-unquote conservatives believe that government should be involved in that aspect of our lives. Horse track, no. Opryland coming back, sadly, no. Is John Ingram going to be upset on this one? Sadly, no. I don't know if he's upset or not, but it has nothing to do with Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Riverboat Casino, no. Matt, quick question. Can an airplane land in a No, I don't think it can. Almost read that one. That would have been bad. And a lot of you getting it more close to home. Yes, I said if Matt Murphy's excited about this, it must have something to do with boobies. Now get your head.
Boobies.
Get your head out of that gutter. What are you talking about? Boobies?
Remember whenever
Why
Barney
would
Fife...
you read that?
It was, I'm like Ron Burgundy. What'd you say, kid?
Remember when Barney Fife called Gomer, called him a boob? A boob?
A boob?
And he just called me a boob.
No, it does not have anything to do with the lovely Miss Dolly Parton. But she is a national treasure and should be treated as said same. All right, we're gonna get on to Donald Trump and more pertinent news, but I'll give you guys a couple of guesses before we do. Tom is next.
Hey, sir. Here's my thought. Trump said he was going to take away the Olympics from L.A. for beating up on the ice. So I'm suggesting that he send the Olympics to Nashville, Tennessee.
Man, that would be a lot of fun. I wonder if Atlanta, Tom, if Atlanta could handle the Olympics back in '96, surely Nashville could handle the Olympics today. I mean, we got the new stadium coming up. We got Bridgestone. We got Geodis out there. We got a lot of different venues and facilities.
The way y'all would have to pry me out of the basketball arena, I would be locked in for the entire basketball tournament.
I think we could handle that. That'd be pretty good. All right, I got two more guesses, and we're going to put this to bed for now. Bill has a guess. Hello, Bill.
Hey, Matt. So I'm going to let the cat out of the bag for you. Is it the tunnel that Elon Musk is going to build?
Oh,
from the
Bill.
airport?
No, I mean, the city shut that down, buddy. The city, the city said they wanted no part of that.
Wasn't he going to build it for free?
I think he said he would.
Okay. I figured it was just that since it wasn't going to cost any money. All right.
Well, but here's the thing. If Bill's right, that would be boring news. Ew. Y'all get what I did there? Boring. Boring news. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken.
I get it, Brother Murphy.
It's a little pity laugh there.
No,
Action Jackson got a good laugh out of you, though. Hey, Kenyon, you are the last to speak on this issue. Or maybe Billy's the last, but Kenyon, you're up.
Oh, no, I'm the last for sure. It is the Boring Company, and they are proposing a tunnel from Nashville International to downtown Nashville.
But we read...
That is it. That is the most economic boom you could ever think of.
We read that news like a month. Remember when that story came out a month and a half ago and everybody said, well, that's just stupid. It's never going to happen? Remember that? Remember that?
I don't remember that, but I'm telling you, I've been in Las Vegas. I went from the convention center to the World's Hotel Resort, and it's perfect. It's a 10-mile stretch. It's you talk about an economic boom. 100%. That's what it is.
I mean, I agree with you. If that were the story, that would be major. That'd be a big deal. I mean, that would be huge. Have you been in the tunnel in Vegas?
I have. I've got videos of it. It's beautiful. I actually rode in the Tesla truck, which I wanted to buy. I just can't afford one. But, yeah, it's great.
I hear that deal out in Vegas, it's 10 miles long. Is that right?
Well, no, it would be 10 miles long from the Nashville International underground for us. For the Wolves to the convention center, it's maybe a mile at best, maybe a mile and a half.
But a good test run as to how that would work in a city like ours, right?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, it's $5 a day, unlimited rides back and forth if you're doing a convention or something. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Ken. I mean, but sadly, that story came out like a month and a half ago. We saw it pop up in the Tennessean, saw a couple of the news channels do a story on it, and they were like, that's never going to happen. And the city didn't seem to want anything to do with it. I mean, what would that take? That would take like the state taking over the project and taking the reins and taking care of it and doing it themselves and not having to depend on the city and the city's involvement at all. And that would never happen, right? Kenyon, I like the way you're thinking. I feel, I don't want to disappoint folks. That'd be cool, though.
Well, and how does that benefit the entire state? Because that's what you said.
I did.
You said it's going to benefit the entire state.
I did. I mean, I don't know, Ken. We're just going to have to see. I mean, I hear that there's new news coming out.
Maybe there's going to be a Ken Weaver tunnel between Murfreesboro and downtown.
What if I told you that, that tunnel that dude's talking about, which that's
hokey.
That's dreams. That's dreams. We're dreaming now. But if that were to happen, I guess any alleviation of traffic on 40 would probably residually benefit you, Ken, I think, on 24. Maybe. But that's pie in the sky stuff, y'all. We're trying to talk reality here. Not that nonsense.
Maybe they're going to bring us some more buses because there's just not enough for the demand right now.
Freddie's got it all figured out, y'all. He's going to make bus riding cool.
Those buses are just full.
Come on. Well, he's making it cool. Free Wi-Fi for everybody. You could give out free drinks for everybody on the buses. And
they have buses that do that.
Well, yeah, and those are full.
Yeah. That's right.
Those are full.
Oh, man, we should have thought of that, boys. We should have bought an old school bus and chopped off the top.
Man, they've kind of exhausted that one, haven't they? I was like, they got buses. They got party buses. What about, I don't know, party tractor? Let's do that.
We just make things up. You see that corner over there? George Jones got into a fight with Johnny Cash.
We can't make things up.
You just make things up.
Oh, see that right over there? See that business right there? That used to be a restaurant. Dolly Parton flashed people right in that restaurant. 1969.
Dolly would never.
Well, that's what you say. Anyway, more bike lanes. That's exactly what we need. More buses and bike lanes. It's 53 after the hour. More Trump in a moment. Donald Trump speaking back on the issue of whether or not Barack Obama committed an act of treason. We have the audio next on Super Talk. Hello, folks. It's Matt Murphy, and I cannot impress upon you the importance enough for you to call Premier Generators and speak to these folks about a home generator from Premier. They are your number one generator dealer in the state of Tennessee, and they have a 10-year warranty offer right now at Premier and a free consultation. Now, folks, you need to call, and I would encourage you to call right now. I understand that it gets hot during the summer months. and maybe you're not that concerned about your AC going. What if your power goes out? Your AC goes out, right? Your AC goes out, and then what do you do with a Premier Generac generator? You don't have to worry because they pop back on. You don't need to compromise with Mother Nature anymore during the summer season. And obviously, the stormy season is coming in the fall, and then the ice is right behind that in the winter months. Call today to get this offer at Premier Generators. Go to premiergenerators.com. That's premiergenerators.com, or give them a call at 855-797-4766. 797-4766. That's 855. It's a toll-free number. This company is the #1 home generator company in the state of Tennessee, and you need to do this for yourself, your family, and it will improve the value of your home. Call today to Premier Generators.
5 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, the heat keeps ramping up. We had that earlier thunderstorm that cooled us off nicely, but since then, the clouds have kind of broken up, let that sun back out, warming things up. We got 91 degrees. That's the actual temperature right now. Heat index is at 100 right now in Nashville. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Entertainment news. Iconic heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne has passed away at the age of 76. His family in a statement saying he passed away this morning. He was with family and surrounded by love. Here's Jason Nathanson.
Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy Osbourne was 19 when he co-founded Black Sabbath. The band helped define the metal genre thanks in part to Osbourne's vocals on classic tunes including Iron Man and Paranoid. His wild behavior, sometimes fueled by drink and drugs, earned him the nickname the Prince of Darkness and the Metal Madman. Fired from Black Sabbath after a decade with the group, he went on to an even more successful solo career, managed by wife Sharon. In the early 2000s, they found a whole new audience with the hit MTV reality series The Osbournes. A member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Ozzy Osbourne also had 1 Grammy. Jason Nathanson, ABC News.
Ozzy last performed in Nashville at 2011 at the Bridgestone Arena as part of his Scream tour. He was joined by Slash for that show, but probably more famously, Ozzy did not perform at a Black Sabbath concert in Nashville in 1978. He fell asleep in the wrong hotel room after accidentally entering it, led to a search for Ozzy with Van Halen stalling on stage while the band and authorities searched for him. That concert was eventually rescheduled for a few days later. Right now in our nation's capital, the House of Representatives is heading into its August recess early due to a dispute over the release of documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. House Speaker Mike Johnson stated he wants to give the Trump administration space to release the documents independently and dismiss the push for a vote as political games. Meanwhile, 2nd District Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell to appear before a deposition. The motion passed the Government Operations Subcommittee today.
This motion to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell was approved in a subcommittee of the House Oversight Committee. It was brought forward by Tim Burchett, and it got the Republicans on that panel's support. And so now it advances to Chairman James Comer, who's the chair of the overall House Oversight Committee. It tries to force Comer to subpoena Ghislaine Maxwell, but ultimately it looks like the decision will still rest with James Comer.
That is Jay O'Brien reporting. And an update now here in Tennessee on death row inmate Byron Black, scheduled for execution by lethal injection August 5th. A Nashville judge has ordered prison officials to deactivate his heart device, a defibrillator, before the execution to prevent it from repeatedly shocking him during the lethal injection, which attorneys argue could cause a prolonged and excruciating death. Black is on Tennessee's death row for the 1988 murders of his girlfriend, Angela Clay, and her 2 daughters, Latoya and Lakeisha. Prosecutors say it was in a jealous rage. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we've got crashes out there right now. One is reported 40 eastbound near Church Street. And then TDOT says we got a stalled vehicle in Glencliff. It's on the left shoulder, 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. TDOT says there's a disabled vehicle, 24 eastbound, over on the East Loop downtown, right there at Shelby Avenue. A crash on High 65 northbound after Rosa Parks. Police say there's a crash in the Belmont area, 65 northbound before Wedgwood. And then in Dixon, we've got a crash reported 40 eastbound near the I-840 exit 176. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, back to it. Halfway home this Tuesday edition, July 22. Glad to have you with us on Super Talk 99.7 WTN or on a variety of platforms where you can listen to or watch the show. To include TuneIn, Spotify, iHeart, really any place that music or information, podcast are downloadable and available. We are there. You can find us on our own app, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Of course, we're always on the radio, 99.7 FM, from Alabama to Kentucky and all points in between. And then there's Talk TV. Anywhere you go, if you've got Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble, we're there in all of our glory. We appreciate you being there. Give us the old thumbs up, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to promote. Maybe tell a friend or a neighbor about the radio show, the television side of things. We certainly do appreciate it. Ken Weaver's back in the newsroom. Jackson Williams controlling the experience. My name is Matt Murphy. Glad to have you with us. So, all right. So there are the Nashville Business Journal is spilling the beans. All right. So, Ken, I'm spilling the beans.
Okay.
At least what I know. What I have heard, all I know is that I got permission from Source A that I can spill the beans, at least for what I know.
Okay.
And that is this. We saw the stories, the news reports a couple of months ago, maybe not even 2 months ago, about Nashville being a possible site for a boring tunnel. Now, I don't mean a boring tunnel like, boy, this sure is stupid. This does not pique my interest. I mean a boring tunnel like the company, Boring. How about that name for a company that does drilling underground? They called it Boring.
That's good.
I did a report one time, Ken.
Yes, sir.
On it was our technical theater class.
Yeah.
And in technical theater, they're building the sets and making sure all the sets and all the properties were designed properly. And my subject was drills. I mean, I had to do a report on drills.
Okay.
And the title of my report was "Drills Are Boring Tools."
That's the way to go, man.
I thought it was pretty good.
That is real good. You should have got an A just for that.
I think I did get an A, but mainly because it was kind of an easy class. But anyway, so one of those basket weaving deals. So the Boring Company, which is a majority ownership of the Boring Company, is owned by Elon Musk. He owns over 50% of the company. But they did this. I want to say it's like a 3-mile tunnel out in Las Vegas. And apparently it has been met with wild success. Nashville was named some months ago as a possible site for one of these deals. What we are told, and obviously plenty, as my grandma used to say, there's plenty a slip between the cup and the lip. You know what that means, Jackson? Things can get screwed up real quick. It ain't over till it's over.
Until the fat lady sings.
Until the fat lady sings. Until they sign on the bottom line. But anyway, so there's plenty of slip between the cup and the lip. But we're told that Monday, there will be an announcement Monday morning regarding an agreement between the state of Tennessee and the Boring Company to build a tunnel between B&A Airport and downtown Nashville. That's what we're told.
Well, I'll be.
I'm also told that the Boring Company attempted to create a partnership between the state of Tennessee and the city of Nashville, and apparently leadership in the city of Nashville wanted nothing to do with it.
Well, of course.
That's what we're told. We are told, and I'm working to confirm and get people involved in these discussions, that we were told that, no, we don't want to have anything to do. They're more interested in taxing people more and putting more buses on the streets. By the way, a proponent or an opponent of this plan who has already publicly stated that she is absolutely against it will be on our radio show at just after 3 o'clock Friday.
All right.
Her name is Representative Afton Bain.
All right.
Afton is coming on the show. She's presenting herself as a candidate for the 7th Congressional District, and let's see if she's changed her tune. I mean, this would seem to be right up a liberal's alley. This is a tunnel to take gas-guzzling, pollution-belching cars off the street and provide electric vehicle access from B&A Airport to downtown Nashville for the tourists that come into town. What more does a liberal want? That seems like a wonderful idea for liberals to embrace. But sadly, apparently, the liberals in the mayor's office didn't want anything to do with it. And other liberals, and I suppose this is because it has something to do with Elon Musk and they don't like Elon Musk. So you see how these people do? They make their decisions on what they think is best for the city and best for this state based on the people they like or don't like or political affiliations, not what is actually best for our city or for our state. And this is an absolute no-brainer. Consider that if my information is correct, I'm told that this opportunity is being offered Nashville, Tennessee at zero cost to the taxpayers. That all they have to do is get agreement with the state involving state-owned property that they can then bore underneath. Secondarily, there are some private property considerations that they had to get in line, and they've already done that, I'm told, and that will be announced on the 28th of this month. This is, well, I understand 9104 says Elon has a history of dropping the ball on these projects. It would likely be a disaster. Elon also has a history of doing pretty good projects that aren't, I mean, the Tesla automobile is pretty good. What project, I mean, pray tell, I mean, if they sign on the bottom line, I mean, you can poo-poo it. That's fine. I understand there's going to be haters. There are going to be people that hate this idea, and they're going to scream and yell about how awful it is, and it'll never get off the ground. Is this not a wonderful opportunity? Now, when I say that it would benefit the entire state of Tennessee, I believe that. I believe that it will benefit the state of Tennessee because it will continue a nationwide or international belief that Nashville, Tennessee is, in fact, an it destination. It's a tourist city. It's ready for business. And the tourism department announced that they are down. I don't even know if they announced this, but it's my understanding they're down almost 20% year over year. I mean, a project like this would benefit the new project that's going on the East Bank. It would improve logistical ability to move people swiftly. I'm told that it would be roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of between 5 and 10 miles of tunneling. I don't know. Y'all can call me naive. You can say that I'm very excited about the possibility. It's futuristic in its nature. I mean, my God, Elon has a history of dropping the ball. Elon went to space, you jerk. Like, he said, I don't want to depend on the government to go to space. Why don't I just go to space on my own? And you know what he did? He went to space. I'm just going to go ahead and build a Cybertruck, and everybody laughed at him when he released the Cybertruck design. Look at that, how that happened. But anyway. Yes, 7464. It's my understanding that the way that this occurred, they went down a state highway that a majority of the route, and I don't have the exact route, I've not been told that, but a majority of the route will be on the path of a state highway or on a series of state highways, and there are some private property considerations that they have to meet, and that they've already done that. 3376, she wants a big dig. This is not a big dig in as much as it's not government funded and it's not government controlled. It is a private enterprise, and that the access will be controlled by fares or fees. You will not be able to take your own car down the tunnel. Those cars will only be Tesla, and they will, I'm told, originally they'll be driven by people, and eventually the entire tunnel will be automated.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is that not cool?
So
it's really cool.
There will not be any fee.
No. There will be a fee.
There will be a fee. Okay.
But you won't be able to take your private vehicle in the tunnel.
Dude, that's going to alleviate traffic.
So think about all the tourists that are getting Ubers at the airport right now.
Yeah.
Or cabs at the airport right now. They'll be taking the tunnel.
That industry doesn't like this.
I'm certain. I am 100% guaranteeing you that whatever the lobbying wing of Uber, Lyft, and the cab companies, whatever lobbyists they have, they are against this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't blame them, because it's, the horse and buggy industry was against the automobile too. So, yes, and 09, the dude that said he has a history of dropping the ball. Who dropped the ball on that project in D.C., bud? 9104. It wasn't boring. It was D.C. These city, look, you're like, well, he had projects listed in D.C. and Chicago and L.A. and San Jose. All of those cities refuse to do business with Elon Musk. Just think before you speak, guy. The cities refused to agree to arrangements. The company wanted to agree to these arrangements. The cities refused. And frankly, it's my understanding it's not just, okay, you can hate on it all you want, 91. What do you want to do to alleviate traffic, pal? Just you tell me. I'm listening. Or give us a call, 615-737-9986. Listen, I'm not here to fight with you. I'm sure that there's plenty of people that will be against this, and I'm not one of them. I'm frankly kind of excited about the possibility that exists. It feels like the future, if you know what I'm saying. Chuck says, Matt, I like the idea, but I wonder what they will do when they have to cross the river. They'll have to go under it, is what they will have to do.
Ooh. How deep is that river?
I don't know, Ken.
I'm going to look that up right now.
I don't know, but I mean, logistically, there are 1,000 different questions that we should ask, that we can ask, that we will ask. All I'm telling you is what I'm hearing is that there are preparations underway for an announcement to be made as early as next Monday, this coming Monday at 10 a.m. That's what I'm told. I don't have it confirmed from anyone within the governor's office. I tried to get confirmation and could not get confirmation, but I have it in two different ways from two different sources that I trust enough be able to share it with you on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jay, what do you think about it? Jay's up next on Super Talk on our phone lines. Hey, Jay.
Well, you already stole one of my ideas. Of course, a lot of the transportation companies would be against it, but how can you be with it's not going to cost the taxpayer, there's going to be a fee, maybe the city, the state can benefit from that. Plus, like I say, you're going to take cars off the road. I think it's because, if taxpayer money was involved, then, maybe some politicians could siphon it off. But other than that, I think it's a great idea, and I don't know why they're not born too. Run one from B&A and, hell, run one from Opryland or some other big spot in there, or from the Titan Stadium.
Well, hey, Jay, you're right on target, because my information, my little birdie told me that originally – when there were attempts to talk to the city, that they were talking to them about Opry Mills Mall. They were talking to them about Titan Stadium. They were talking to them about various locations around the city, and the city kind of shut all of that down, and so they just kind of reverted back to the state. Proof of performance, do the original idea, and then maybe the city will jump on board after the fact.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I think old Freddie McConnell, he's just a little bit better than old Hot Lips Barry we used to have down there, but you thought about bringing having a big hole in Nashville. I thought you were going to bring her back as mayor. I'll end with that. But y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Jay, for the call. Hot Lips Bear.
And the laugh.
That's a little before my time. I got it at 100 feet deep, about 100 feet.
Yeah, let's say average depth is about 90 feet.
Okay.
However, it can vary significantly. Significantly.
Yes, to answer.
Up to 400 feet in places.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I guess you could just put a tunnel in. I mean, you don't have to go under.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, there's a tunnel. I mean, I don't know how that would work, though. You'd have to worry about water. I mean, I think it'd be easier to go under. I don't know. I don't understand how any of this works. If you asked Matt Murphy to do the tunnel, let me promise you something. You ain't getting a tunnel anytime soon. Bob says, under river or not, I assure you they will be boring through limestone rock.
Ooh.
I'd be interested in who's paying for such a project. Apparently boring. I mean, yes, it is through limestone, and according to boring, that is not a problem. And I'm told that they believe that the entire project can be done by 2028. Now, I don't know if that's a dream scenario. I don't know what that is. That's just what I'm told. So, look, a lot of considerations, a lot of concerns, a lot of questions. Generally speaking, I get excited about these types of things because this just feels like the future, doesn't it? I mean, a tunnel from the airport to downtown?
I'm telling you, man, that my whole thing with this area is traffic. And if that sounds like that could significantly reduce the traffic impact.
Yeah, I don't know how many tourists. I mean, most of the tourists that come to Nashville, I mean, a lot of them are driving, sure. But a lot of them are flying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, our conventions, people coming into town, the Tennessee Titans, I mean, Nashville is a destination for opposing teams that play the Tennessee Titans on an annual basis.
Right.
I mean, think about all of those people. They want to get to those downtown hotels. How do they do it? They do it through cabs. They do it through Uber. They do it through Lyft. Now, they're just taking the tunnel.
Well, and just think about holidays, man, whenever, it's backed up onto 40 from people trying to get, to the departures.
Man, I understand that there are people that have many, many questions. I have many, many questions. I just love it. I love the idea. I love that the state is ready to receive it. And some are saying, well, they wanted to do it in Chicago. They said no in Chicago, and they said no in D.C. Well, why? Why do you think they said no? Why do you think Freddie O'Connell in Nashville said no? Politics. Sadly. Politics. 23 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll come back with more of your calls. The media is largely attempting to ignore the fact that there are calls of treason on the table against several upper-level muckety-mucks in the Obama administration. We'll talk about it. When it comes to large home repairs, the foundation of your home is so very important. Obviously, I mean, large home repairs can be daunting. They can be scary, and a lot of times homeowners don't want to deal with them. So even with foundation issues, with waterproofing issues, you kind of, I like to say, whistle past the graveyard. That means pretend that bad things aren't happening. When bad things happen to your home, call the best, call USS. They give you peace of mind first and foremost. At United Structural Systems, they have given peace of mind to 30,000 satisfied residential customers since 1994. That's a lot of customers. That's a lot of years doing business the right way. They are members of our community. They've been in business for over 30 years. They're not going anywhere. When you need someone to repair the foundation, the very bedrock of your home that protects you and your family from the elements and the whatnot, I mean, you need a company that you can trust. You trust, and I trust, USS. They guarantee their best. USSTN.com, USSTN.com, or call 615-488-7855, 488-7855 for USS.
Iconic heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne passing away today. The Justice Department pushing for the release of grand jury material in the Jeffrey Epstein case. These stories and more coming up at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. Lots to get into. Man, I'm looking at the Boring Company, BORING company.com website.
Yeah.
Why tunnels? To solve the problem of soul-destroying traffic.
Yeah, there it is.
Talking your language, Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Roads must go 3D. That either means flying cars or tunnels. Unlike flying cars, tunnels are weatherproof, out of sight, and will not fall on your head.
Well, see, you don't have to pre-treat the roads in tunnels. It can't snow on them.
I think this is funny. I think they're trying to be funny. So to solve the problem of soul-destroying traffic, roads must go 3D, which means either flying cars or tunnels are needed. Unlike flying cars, tunnels are weatherproof, out of sight, and won't fall on your head. Tunnels minimize usage of valuable surface land, do not conflict with existing transportation systems. A large network of tunnels can alleviate congestion in any city, no matter how large a city grows. More levels of tunnels can be added. So they've already done some incredible work out in Las Vegas, and I understand that our topography is completely different. I understand that we've got limestone and river considerations, but this is reportedly happening, or at least a big announcement's coming on Monday, and my sources tell me that it is all but a done deal that there will be an announcement about B&A to downtown Nash. And in my world, that's great news. That's huge. Huge for economic development, huge possibilities for what it means for the future of Nashville. I just hope and wish that Nashville would be on board. I hope the city's on board. You know what? Say what you will about old Freddie. I hope he's standing there on the stage Monday. If they're on the stage with Governor Bill Lee and somebody from the Boring Company, I hope Freddie's there, because that would give me an indication that they see the value in all of this. And if they're not standing on that stage, that means that Freddie O'Connell is such a petty human that he is putting politics in front of what he wants to be his number one focus, and that is traffic congestion. There's no other explanation for it. It is 5:30. Nincompoops coming up, plus your calls on Super Talk.
$5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Had that thunderstorm earlier today cool us off into the 80s. We're back up to 91 degrees, real temperature. Heat index, though, it's at 100. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Entertainment news. Iconic heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. His family in a statement said he passed away this morning. He was with family, surrounded by love. Osbourne was also known for the reality show About His Family, which aired on MTV in the early 2000s. Here's more from ABC's Chris Connolly.
Creating the very genre of heavy metal with Black Sabbath, the idea of the frontman, the sound of the band, the topics it covered. And then when he went solo, continuing those successes and creating this kind of antic, hellion concept around him as a frontman, and then reinventing reality television at the turn of the century and giving MTV the kind of ratings it had never had.
Ozzy last performed in Nashville on February 16th, 2011 at the Bridgestone Arena. Part of his Scream tour, he was joined by Slash for that show. And the Justice Department pushing for the release of grand jury material in the Jeffrey Epstein case, but federal judges are responding it's not so simple. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
2 New York-based federal judges say before they'll even consider releasing grand jury material from the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell cases, prosecutors will have to meet the court's requirements. The Justice Department will have to spell out a broader legal rationale for taking the extraordinary step and put forward proposed redactions to the grand jury testimony. The judges have also invited comment from victims and from Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving a 20-year prison sentence for her role in the recruiting and trafficking of minors.
Tennessee 2nd District Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell to appear for a deposition. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we got a crash over by Belmont, 65 northbound before Wedgwood Avenue. Police say there's another one, Thompson Lane at Sidco Drive. And then in Glencliff, TDOT says the left shoulder's blocked by a stalled vehicle, 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway. Back over in the Belmont area, got a crash reported by police, 440 westbound at Hillsborough Pike, 21st Avenue, exit 3. And in Dixon, we got a crash off on the shoulder at 40 eastbound near I-840, exit 176. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There's one organization that I believe in when it comes to taking incarcerated men that perhaps through their upbringing or whatever they experienced early on in their life don't truly value life, don't truly value you, don't truly value civilized and law-abiding society, taking those men and finding them a path, a way forward, finding them light in the darkness. And that is Men of Valor. Men of Valor does it in our prison systems, in our jail communities every single day. Through volunteerism, through people like you that are willing to help, through Bible study and mentorship. All of this makes it possible for men to leave the prison system and become givers rather than takers. They use all of their resources, and frankly, they lean on those of us that give to help utilize those resources to find a better path for those men. Now, I want you to give, if you can, to movministry.com. That's movministry.com, either of your time or perhaps of your money. Don't forget to save the date, October 1st. New news coming up very soon about their wonderful second annual Men of Valor Gala that's happening in Franklin this year with Tim Tebow and Demi Lee Tebow. They will be there, and I will give you more information on that as it becomes available. movministry.com for more info, movministry.com. You walk into the Wellness Institute of Nashville and you will see a state-of-the-art facility. They have non-surgical spinal decompression, knee compression, that elongates the disc to take off the pressure of the nerve. They also have anti-gravity machines, robot lasers, and other high-tech stuff that can help you today with no surgery, no spinal injection, and no painkillers. And that's what it's all about at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Friends, I made the switch to Dr. Mitch. Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley want to see you. They want you to make the switch as well. And to incentivize that, they have the Big Daddy Trump special, $12 for a comprehensive examination, x-rays, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment for $12. Now, obviously, they're doing this for one reason, to show off their location, to show off their facility, and to show you what's possible. You can live a pain-free life with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Go to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or give them a call and go ahead and schedule that appointment today. Let's lead a pain-free life. Let's find that path forward. 615-246-5009, 246-5009, or once again, painisbad.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for all of your comments, your concerns, your telephone calls. We'll get to nincompoops here in just a moment. Airport to downtown tunnel would not go under the river. No, you're right, 4418. It would not go under the river, wouldn't have to, but it's my understanding that the master plan, at least if my information is correct, would involve spurs, and some of those spurs would, put it this way, they want to go from the West Bank to the East Bank. They 100% want to go into East Nashville if they get this done. They're not just going to go to one. They want to go to Opry Mills Hotel, Gaylord Opryland Hotel. They want to go out there.
Ah, yeah.
They want to do. They want
I
to
didn't even think about that.
Look, y'all go to this website. Go to boringcompany.com. and see what they initially did in Vegas and see what they are doing in Vegas. They're building tunnels all over Las Vegas as we speak. And, you know, obviously building in the sands of Las Vegas is not going to be the same thing as tunneling in the limestone of Tennessee. Robert says they're going to drill all these tunnels and then the world will collapse. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll find, what were those, remember the journey to the center of the earth, Ken?
Yes.
What were those they found those like cave creatures down there.
Yeah.
I forget what they were called, but H.G. Wells did that story originally. They were creepy.
Saw the reboot. Pretty good. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Do you remember you know the creatures I'm talking about?
Can't think of their name.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie in like 10 years.
All right, let me get to a few of you. We'll get to nincompoops coming up. We got nincompoops on the way, but many of you have held for some time to talk about this possibility of tunnels from B&A to downtown. Mike is in Old Hickory. Mike, what do you think?
Well, Matt, I hope you'll go back in the history and look at the Boston Big Dig. And that went on for decades. And it never got completed, and it cost billions and billions and billions.
They finished the big. Wait, hold on, they finished the Big Dig.
Yep, and it cost billions and billions and billions.
Mike, you said I don't mean to interrupt you, but you said a minute. You said they didn't finish it. Did they or did they not? Mike, did they or did they not finish it?
Okay, all right.
No, Mike, not okay. Did they or didn't they?
No, they did not finish it in the way they envisioned it.
No,
it
Mike,
would be finished.
Was that controlled by? Was that a government project?
Cost efficient to the taxpayers.
Okay.
No,
guess what?
A disaster.
Have you heard?
It was a disaster.
Mike, so do you think this will be a disaster for the taxpayers?
People in Boston.
We're not talking about Boston. We're talking about Nashville.
Okay, let's talk about it. Then we're going to get now granite and all that bang and blowing up and dynamite.
All right, well, let's just do nothing. Well, let's just do nothing. I agree with you. Let's just do nothing.
Are you willing to agree? Are you willing to agree?
Let's just do nothing.
That the citizens of Nashville are going to agree to all the underground around Nashville is going to be blown up.
It's already done, Mike. It's already done. It's already done, buddy. It's already done. Done.
Oh, it's already done?
It's already done.
How? I don't see it.
Wait till Monday. It's already done. The agreements have already happened between the state and this company.
Oh, so they are agreeing now to bring them in and start burying under Nashville, under all of our sandstone,
under your house,
limestone, granite,
directly they're coming directly under your house.
All right, and then let me ask you this, because this is a joke. This is a joke. So where are we going to build it first? From the airport to downtown, right?
I'm sorry. Were you asking me a question?
Yeah, we're going to build it from the airport to downtown. That's the logical thing.
Let me answer your question. The answer to your question is they did finish the Big Dig. So we have our budget.
What did it cost?
I mean, it was a gajillion dollars. It was a boondoggle because it was run by the government. This is not a government. This is not a government project, Mike. You need to, Mike. I would encourage you to get some facts and then start screaming at me after you get facts. That's all. That's all. How much is this going to cost the taxpayers, Mike? Do you know?
Let me ask you: who's saying this not going to cost the taxpayers any money? Elon Musk?
The Boring
Company.
Is
that what you're saying?
Yes, the Boring Company.
Oh, the Boring Company.
Mm-hmm.
Who runs the Boring Company?
Elon Musk is the primary shareholder.
Okay, so he's going to start digging under Nashville, and moles are going to go everywhere under Nashville.
I've got other things to do, and I feel like these are questions that maybe you could figure out on your own. Don't you?
Matt, please don't fall into this trap.
What trap? What trap, Mike? What trap?
You're falling into another boondoggle thing that you're going to say this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
No,
We're
I haven't said that. I haven't said that.
We're going to have tunnels all over Nashville.
Yeah, what's wrong with
Mike, congestion, our driving congestion, because we cannot drive on the roads. We cannot go above ground.
Do they let
so
you?
We have to go below ground.
Do they let you drive? Do they let you drive?
Who lets me drive? I drive myself.
Who? Your handlers. I mean, surely they don't let you live alone.
No. What I do is, what I want to know is it going to be in my lifetime? Because you say by 2028 this is all happening.
That's what I was told. It only
so
took.
That means I can come downtown on a tunnel out here from Wilson County
from the
and go right straight into downtown Nashville in a tunnel.
Mike,
is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay, and so it's all going to happen that fast.
I mean,
2 years from now.
If you believe what these people are saying, yeah.
Matt, I know you're joking, and I hope people in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. I've waited. Just say goodbye. Just go away. Just say goodbye real quick so we can get on to other callers that are more productive than you. We'll get to Lee. I know we got nincompoops to get to, but I need to wash my mouth out. I mean, Mike has just left a bad taste in my mouth. Hey, Lee.
Yeah. Hey. How are you? Hey, Matt.
Hey, Lee.
NBG. Yeah, hey, this segment's been boring. Anyway, this is your brave Ugga fan.
I'm going to get drilled by the bosses later.
That's right. Tell them about Chesapeake Bay Bridge. 17.2 miles of tunnel and bridge going across, and it's been there since 1961.
I know.
My wife and I was in New York City about 2018, but we stayed in New Jersey, went underneath that East River and that one where the dude landed the plane. So you can go under it. Believe me, I live in Bowling Green, like I said, where we live on top of a cave. But, you know, it's okay. They can do that. They have laser reinforcement, and surely I would believe Elon Musk before I would Mike.
Well, I would too. And, you know, Mike can poo-poo all he wants. That's fine. I mean, I get it. Mike, you know, I'm certain that when they were talking about building tunnels to Manhattan, Mike was there poo-pooing that. I'm certain that Mike lived in England, and they're like, what? What, a tunnel between England and France? What? What are they going to call it? The Channel? Come on, buddy. You kidding me? Let's do nincompoops in the news on
Nincompoops in the news.
Mike does not like jerking my chain. Mike likes being a jerk, but that's okay. I still take Mike's calls. I take all comers for one reason or another, but Mike is testing that patience. Speaking of testing your patience, I apologize for being tardy at nincompoops in the news. Jackson won nincompoops in the news yesterday. Y'all know how this works by now. I don't have to deliver the pleasantries. Jackson, go.
All right, naked man accused of trying to burn San Carlos Park gym to the ground hides in tanning bed. The Lee County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man accused of attempting to burn down a Planet Fitness located in San Carlos Park, Florida. Deputies responded to the gym located on South Tommy-Yami Trail on Saturday after reports of a naked man running through the gym, crawling into the ceiling, and attempting to start a fire in the bathroom. According to Sheriff's Office, Henry Antunes Alvarado was asked to leave the gym at closing. He then began to act erratically. Surveillance footage shows him sprinting through the building unclothed, entering multiple rooms. Alvarado was then seen in the nude, lying down on a hydro massage bed. At one point, Alvarado climbed into the ceiling, knocked down several ceiling tiles throughout the building. Deputies located him hiding naked inside of a tanning bed. He was arrested and charged with indecent exposure, arson, criminal mischief, and providing false identification to law enforcement. Alvarado was also convicted in 2023 for attempted burglary, trespassing, loitering, and prowling.
I wonder why he thought he had to get naked for all that.
Well, he's hiding in the tanning bed.
No, he was naked before the tanning bed. He was naked for the whole thing.
Man,
the whole kit and caboodle.
He didn't want to burn his shirt.
You better be worried about burning your hot dogs.
Your Vienna sausage?
Frank and beans will get all burned up.
Franks and beans.
Ken Weaver?
Yeah, one of y'all got to follow that up.
I don't even know. Mine's going to lose, so I might as well follow it. Mine wasn't very good anyway. Mine was a little more serious, but I couldn't help myself because this is real news, and our United States government, full of nincompoops. U.S. states have built less than, we were promised, out of $7.5 billion of our U.S. tax dollars, we were promised that we would have EV charging station ports built all over the United States of America. Out of the $7.5 billion of federal infrastructure money that we dedicated to building charging ports all over the United States of America, we have, as of April 2025, built 384 of them, and that cost us $7.5 billion. 384 charging ports operating in 68 stations in 16 states. In May, California and 15 other states sued the Transportation Department, saying the federal government illegally withheld money for their infrastructure. I just want to focus in on $7.5 billion it cost to build 384 charging stations around the United States of America. The tax-paying citizen, sadly, is the nincompoop in this story. Mr. Ken Weaver?
Wagner County deputies arrest 2 after sanitation truck theft and patrol car collision. This happened in Wagner County, Oklahoma, on Friday. Wagner County Sheriff's deputies arrested 2 men who stole a sanitation truck. They received information that a family member of the individual who called authorities had stopped at their residence and confessed to stealing the trash truck. The suspect also told the caller that he intended to kill anyone who attempted to come after him and inquired about where to get a gun. When deputies arrived at the residence, they located the stolen truck. The driver of the truck came to a stop, but then reversed into the patrol unit, intentionally trashing it. Deputies gave orders for the driver and passenger to exit the truck. The individuals complied. Nicholas Llewellyn and John Rogers arrested and charged with possession of a stolen vehicle, possession of burglar implements, and assault with a deadly weapon.
Wow. Well, I guess so.
What are burglar implements? That tools to burglarize somebody?
It's a crowbar, right?
Yeah.
Crowbar, maybe a screwdriver,
Something
flashlight.
like that. Yeah.
Anyway, one of those masks with little holes in them.
They were going to kill anybody who tried to stop them.
And anybody know where to get a gun? Because I'll need that in order to kill you.
I need the accoutrement.
There's nincompoops. I don't even think I'm going to get a vote today.
Jackson's won,
Jackson
man.
is.
Jackson's won.
Jackson's in a zone, people. It's either Jackson or Weaver. Vote early, vote often. 615-737-9986 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Efficient Heating and Cooling is your one-stop shop for all things AC repair. In the summertime, the AC is working hard. I mean, that AC is working hard. Jeff Eddy was telling me about this. He said, of course, in order to condition the air, it can only make it so much cooler when the air comes from inside the home, runs over the coils, goes back into the home, right? And in order to keep it the temperature you want it, it's got to work constantly this time of year. Well, that can cause a strain on your system, especially if it's a little bit older. Call Jeff Eddy if it's not working properly before it breaks down to make sure that everything is as right as it should be. And if you do have a breakage, you need someone that will get out jiffy quick and won't charge you an arm and a leg. That's Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. Now, at some point, you have to replace, and they will keep your invoice down as low as possible. They have many suggestions for you. They're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem. EfficientHVAC.net, EfficientHVAC.net, or call 615-784-4424, 615-784-4424 for Efficient.
Ozzy Osbourne passes away, and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard sending multiple referrals to the Department of Justice for prosecution. Hear what Tennessee's senior U.S. Senator has to say about it coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes, many of you on the Super Text line, voting early, voting often. Ken Weaver, congratulations on your second place.
Thank you, Brother Murphy.
Award. Jackson's the man. I'm being told by several on the Super Text line, Jackson, that today you understood the assignment. Congratulations on your second victory in a row.
I would like to thank Mr. Alvarado for being naked in a tanning bed and just going generally insane in Florida.
He's the real winner in all of this, isn't he?
I don't know. I think he might be the loser.
Or maybe he's the real wiener in all of it.
He's not careful to burn his bits off in that tanning bed.
I mean, you got to watch those things. Those tanning beds
they get hot.
That's what I'm told. You ever been in a tanning bed, Jackson?
No, but my sister has a bunch, and she's burned herself. And
Weaver, you ever slid into a tanning bed?
I did, man.
Did you?
I was in a tanning bed, but I wasn't naked.
No, you got to keep the meat and two veg covered up, man.
Yeah.
You got to worry about those things. Sensitive. So, yes, congratulations to Jackson. He is the man. So several of you have noted that in order to get from B&A to downtown, you don't have to cross the river. We understand that. But I had a lengthy conversation, and I apologize. You're right. Y'all are 100% correct. But my understanding is the master plan and the idea would be not just to create a direct route, but would also create some hubs where there would be spurs out to other locations. That would include over the river to East Nashville and to the stadium. That would include to potentially Gaylord Opryland Hotel and that area out there, kind of revitalize that space, and some other locations around our metro region. So that would be the deal there. Daniel, we'll get to you in a moment. We've got 6 o'clock on the horizon. That means news time. We'll get into the CBS Late Show. Bombshell Day, as Tulsi Gabbard continues to detail. I'll just go through exactly what she's accusing the Obama administration of doing it and why she is calling it treasonous. That is on the way next. As promised, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Everybody heading to that Coldplay concert tonight. Hoping temperatures cool down a bit. Right now, we've got 91 degrees in Music City. Heat index has come down a little bit. It's under 100. It's up to 97. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses.
Ozzy Osbourne has died at the age of 76. His family in a statement said he passed away this morning. He was with family, surrounded by love. Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy was 19 when he co-founded Black Sabbath. Fired from Black Sabbath after a more successful solo career managed by his wife Sharon. Well, after he was fired by Black Sabbath, he went on to an even more successful solo career managed by Sharon. He's a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Osbourne also had 1 Grammy. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard sending multiple referrals to the Department of Justice for prosecution, including claims that Obama administration officials manufactured and politicized intelligence related to Russian interference in the 2016 election. Tennessee U.S. Senior Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy Show.
I think what you will see is there will be some indictments. I expect that there are prosecutions.
This referral based on documents declassified by Gabbard, which she claims provide overwhelming evidence supporting the claims. Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett successfully offered a motion directing the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform to issue a subpoena compelling Ghislaine Maxwell to appear for a deposition. Here's Jay O'Brien.
She's in federal custody, so they have to work with the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons in order to make this happen. And we really don't know what quote-unquote expeditiously means in the eyes of this committee, but there is at least some formal effort. James Comer, chair of the Oversight Committee, a powerful committee up here on Capitol Hill, there is at least some effort to bring Ghislaine Maxwell before that panel. And it stands really in contrast with what we've heard repeatedly out of the president telling congressional Republicans to move on here.
And back here in Nashville, Coldplay hits the stage tonight at Nissan Stadium at a time when lawmakers are looking to crack down on ticket scalping and scams that add to the cost.
The hype surrounding tonight's concert at Nissan Stadium for Coldplay, it's real, I'll tell you firsthand. And after talking to those concert goers in downtown Nashville, so was the shock that set in for them after they were able to finally secure a ticket.
And that shock comes from the pricing they saw. People we spoke to paid on average over $500 a ticket for the upper bowl of Nissan Stadium. While ticket costs have rose over 20% in the past 2 years alone, Tennessee Representative Caleb Hemmer says he's trying to keep bots and scammers away from consumers to give others a fair shot at securing a seat.
So this is highly illegal. It's very technologically advanced software that these groups are using. And we don't want that happening to Tennessee consumers.
That is Channel 4's Steve Mailing reporting. Tennessee passed a ticket transparency law in 2023. It requires online ticket sellers to disclose the total cost of a ticket, including all fees and charges, up front before a consumer selects a ticket for purchase. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, got a stalled vehicle off on the left shoulder. That's 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway, 65 northbound. That's already stop and go because of folks trying to get up there to that Coldplay concert. Well, now you've got a crash right there before Wedgwood that is not helping matters. I'm just going to tell you, 65 northbound is backed up from that crash all the way to Brentwood. Then we've got 440 westbound at Hillsborough Pike, 21st Avenue, exit 3. Police reporting the crash there. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, Matt Murphy and you until 7 o'clock tonight. We hand off to the great one, Mark Levin, at that time. Thank you for being with us. Big news. It is a big rumor that is swirling about the community, and a lot of different news outlets have it. I was made aware of this last night. Well, we all heard the suggestion that the Boring Company, run by Elon Musk, might be interested in digging a tunnel between B&A Airport and downtown Nashville. And I'll be honest with you, when I first heard it, I thought, well, that's never going to happen. I mean, that's just not reality. Well, apparently it is becoming reality, if any of the rumors that we're hearing are true, that Elon Musk, well, he will not be here. It's my understanding that Elon will not be a part of the announcement. If my sources are correct, the governor and other state officials are preparing to announce an agreement made in principle with the Boring Company that would involve state property, would involve a singular route from B&A to downtown. And they are hopeful that eventually the city will get on board and allow for other routes to be designed as well. But sadly, the city is not on board as of yet. It's my understanding that this would include no taxpayer dollars up front or otherwise, and that it would be a route not to be used by regular traffic, but to be used by Tesla vehicles, electric vehicles, that would charge you a nominal fee to go from the airport to downtown and back again, much like an Uber ride or a Lyft ride, keeping those vehicles off the streets. 615-737-9986 if you have any questions or any thoughts on that. Obama and the Obama administration, according to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, in her release of well over 100 documents, there is evidence provided of what they describe, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, describes as a treasonous conspiracy directed by Barack Obama weeks before he was due to leave office. According to Gabbard, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's an issue so serious it should concern every single American. This is a quote from Gabbard. What we saw here, as the documents we released to detail, was a sitting president of the United States of America and his cabinet and leadership team, quite frankly, who were not happy with the fact that President Trump had won the election, that the American people had chosen Donald J. Trump to be the next president and commander-in-chief of the United States. So they decided that they would do everything possible to attempt to undermine his ability to do what voters tasked Donald Trump to do. Gabbard's key finding is this, that in December of 2016, after Donald Trump won the presidential election, intelligence officials in the United States government prepared an assessment. And that assessment found that Russia did not have the capability and did not affect the outcome of the election. That is, Russia did not hack voting machines and did not have some power to actually change the results and did not impact the results of the election. However, this assessment was withdrawn by the Obama administration based on, quote, new guidance, end quote. That was on December 8th. The very next day, according to the documents released by Gabbard, top intelligence officials, including James Comey, the director of the FBI, John Brennan and James Clapper, the director of national intelligence and the director of the CIA, respectively, all convened at the White House the next day after they pulled this report that said Russia had nothing to do with this. There was no collusion. There was no there. They all went to the White House, where Barack Obama himself directed them to reach stronger conclusions about a Russian election meddling conspiracy. In summary, just before Obama was to receive a briefing that contained no reference to Russian interference, the briefing was called off, and a high-level meeting of White House security officials was convened, after which Obama himself told them to create a new assessment. that would lean into a more aggressive conclusion that Russia was involved, even though that conclusion had to depend on the Steele dossier that was already debunked. Although the new effort was to be directed by James Clapper's office, the critical job of divining Russia's motive would be given to the CIA and John Brennan. So, a daily presidential briefing was postponed in order for Obama to direct his senior officials at his request to try to find evidence that Vladimir Putin tried to help Donald Trump in the election. And what they came away with was the Steele dossier, which was known to those same intelligence officials to be phony. Is everyone following this? And out of that assessment came a 2.5-year investigation into the Trump administration. Special counsel, the removal of, ultimately Jeff Sessions lost his job as Attorney General because Jeff Sessions acquiesced to a special prosecutor at the demand of the Democrats who were leaning on this intelligence assessment that we now know was bogus from the beginning. And it was all designed to remove Donald Trump from office. That's my belief. That every bit of this was designed to create enough smoke and enough fire that the liberal Democrats could demand impeachment investigations and an impeachment inquiry and eventually get him removed from office. Thankfully, that failed. They tried twice during his first term. And the most disgusting part of all of this is happening right now, because the mainstream media refuses to cover any of it right now. And they ran with this story for 2.5 years. These disgusting scumbags ran with this story that the Obama administration and Brennan and Clapper, they had them on their shows every night. And James Comey, too. And Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, all of them. Andrew McCabe's still on CNN, and he's a scumbag that needs to be in jail, too. Every night of the first 2 years of the Trump administration, you'd find one of these you-know-whats on your television declaring to the American people that Donald Trump wouldn't be president but for Russia, and that the Steele dossier was real, and that there was election interference, and it was engaged in at the request of and at the approval of the Trump people. Well, you and I have known this for a long time. But now we have the receipts. And the same mainstream media that ran with this story without any corroboration, that ran with this story without any fact-checking of their own, those same media organizations, so-called, like #NeverCNN, what a bunch of disgusting garbage people. Y'all know, some folks get upset at me because I use language like that. Do you understand why I get so angry about this? They treat us like we're dumb. And they don't believe in the ability of the people to choose our own leadership. This strikes at the heart of it. They never believed that we would pick Donald Trump. And we did. And they think they're so much better than you. They think they're so much better than me. They think they're so much better than Trump supporters that they decided, screw the Constitution, screw elections, screw our basic fabric of how our system of government is set up. They decided that we're so dumb that they're going to override our will as a people. And they're going to destroy this president that we just selected to be our commander-in-chief. And the media goes along with it. They know. They've always known. They know right now. It's why they're not covering it. ABC, CBS, NBC, The Washington Post, The New York Times, #NeverCNN, those jerks over at MSNBC, and on it goes. They're not touching this story. Why? Can you imagine for a second what they would do with this story if it were Donald Trump's Department of Justice? If Donald Trump ordered his FBI director, if Donald Trump ordered his CIA director, if Donald Trump ordered his director of national intelligence, you go and you find me information that Joe Biden stole this election, and I don't give a damn where you get it from. That he directed the basic intelligence gathering agencies of the United States of America to rig an outcome. You don't think they'd cover that? Now, I understand that treason is a word that we don't throw around lightly. I don't know if you would call this treason. I mean, treason has a pretty specific definition in the I think it's you can fact check me on this, Jackson. Article 3, look up Article 3, Section 3 of the United States Constitution. Article 3, Section 3. Now, I'm not the constitutional scholar that obviously Mark Levin is the man. But I think that's right. I think that's the treason article. You got it?
Yeah, Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution defines and outlines the parameters of treason.
Oh, I was right. You got it? Read it.
I do not have the actual.
Oh, okay, but that's what it does.
Let me find it.
All right, no, it is a specific definition that includes foreign nations. Well, I mean, against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far you would go with this, but that's just the picking of nits. And I don't know how we survive as a nation if we don't demand more of some of these media outlets that are perverting and warping the minds of many, many American people. The idea that these snotty, egotistical, holier than thou, I'm better than you, deep state government bureaucrats like Clapper and Brennan and Comey and Obama and all of his other minions said, you know what? Screw democracy, screw the Constitution. We're going to put a wrench into these works, and we're going to filter it out to so many intelligence gathering individuals that it'll get to the media, and the media will pick it up, and they'll run with this ball. We'll know exactly what they're going to do with it, and they will make sure that this guy goes down in flames within 2 years. And we're supposed to just take it? We're supposed to just accept it? Like, oh, well, that's in the past, Murphy. Should there be no comeuppance? Donald Trump likes the idea of receipts. Donald Trump had a few things to say about it today.
No, Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was right there with him, and so was Sleepy Joe Biden, and so were the rest of them. Comey, Clapper, the whole group. And they tried to rig an election, and they got caught. And then they did rig the election in 2020. And then because I knew I won that election by a lot, I did it a third time, and I won in a landslide. Every swing state won the popular vote. But I won that all the same way in 2020. And look at the damage that was caused.
Look at the damage indeed. Your call's coming up 22 after the hour at Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. I encourage you to get on up Hendersonville Way to check out Volunteer Outfitters if you've not already. It is your one-stop shop for all things outdoors. Whether you're looking to get on the boat for the rest of the summertime, maybe you're getting an early jump on hunting season this fall and into the winter, they've got all of the gear that you need at Volunteer Outfitters. Man, they got waders. I mean, they've got chest waders for you at Volunteer Outfitters. They got duck boots. They got all kind of gear from Drake and Bandit and Huck and all manner of brands. They got college gear, too. For those of you that want to get that good college gear for game day, they've got it at Volunteer Outfitters. Go by and see them. They have all of the brands that you know and love without those big city prices right there in Hendersonville. Tell my friends Tommy and the rest of the crew at Volunteer Outfitters that Matt Murphy sent you. They're on New Shackle Island Road in Hendersonville. It's the one and only Volunteer Outfitters. One of my liberal listeners, well, I guess it's a liberal listener. I don't want to put a label on it, but 9104 says it's literally the first story on AP News. It's just not true. And I said, what is? And he included a link on AP, Associated Press. At one time, it was a trusted resource. And so I opened up this supposed story on the new information. Headline: And I asked my friend 9104, you don't read the Trump rehashes years-old grievances on Russia investigation after new intelligence report. President Trump rehashed long-standing grievances over the Russian investigation that shadowed much of his first term, lashing out Tuesday following a new report from his intelligence director aimed at casting doubt on long-established findings about Moscow's interference in the 2016 election. And then they go on to talk about Trump, and Trump was not making his claims for the first time, and the backward-looking inquiry taking place after the Republican administration's national security agencies are confronting global threats, and on it goes. And, Barack Obama's office has responded, and yada, yada, yada. Trump's tirade, they called it, a detour from his official business, unfolded against the backdrop of a new report from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, that represented his administration's latest attempt to rewrite the history. No, it is to write the proper history, AP. The fact of the matter is this happened. They knew that Russian interference wasn't real. They knew the Steele dossier was phony. Just like they knew that Hunter Biden's laptop was real. The report downplayed the extent of Russian interference in the 2016 election. No, the report didn't. The actual information that was released in 2016 downplayed the information. Obama and his minions found that they received, it's as simple as this. Obama and his people received information, and it was not good enough. What they received on December 7th, the report that they were about to deliver was that the Russians did not affect the outcome of the election, and that there was no direct connection. There was no connection between Donald Trump and Russia. That was the original report. And Obama told his intelligence people to go, quote, do better. And they relied on a Steele dossier that we all know about, right? Do I have to go over that part of this with you? That the FBI already knew was false. The FBI knew that that was false in late summer of 2016, into the fall of 2016. But they relied on it anyway to suggest that there was collusion between Trump and Russia. And there was none. No, this is not a rewriting of history. This is correcting the erroneous writing of what happened from the jump by organizations like the Associated Press. And it matters, y'all. It matters so much. And I'm not trying to beat the dead horse, even though it's more fun than you think, but it matters. Daniel's been holding a long time. I'll get to you, Daniel. Don't you worry. We got Mark from the Safe House coming up in a minute, too. 31 after the hour on Super Talk. Did you know that Eurofix has a very different business philosophy? They do. They simply have more staff at their locations all across Middle Tennessee than any other auto repair shop around. They want to be ready for when your emergency pops up. That's the bottom line. Friends, if you've noticed how hard it can be to get a right now appointment for vehicle repair, then you get it. And Aaron Stokes gets it. Some dealers can be more than 2 weeks out before an appointment can be made. Not at Eurofix. Eurofix has been offering quality repairs, beating the dealer pricing since 1999. A 3-year nationwide warranty and the staff to fix your car now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Oh, owner Aaron Stokes actually says it. He says they're not going to be too busy for their customers. We are here to take your pain away now. Eurofix fixes all European vehicles. Eurofix can say yes to speedy auto repair when others say no. Family owned for 26 years. Call them today. 5 separate locations. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX, or visit myeurofix.com. Yes, indeed. Daniel, I'll get to you. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're winding down the show. About 20 more minutes to go, or a little after 20 more minutes to go. And it's good to talk with you. 615-737-9986. Hey, it's good to catch up with our man Mark over at the Safe House. He's calling in today. What's up, Mark? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. Just trying to stay cool in this hot weather.
Hey, how hot does it get there in the in the showroom on 4th Avenue South? Y'all got AC over there?
Some, but the safes out in the showroom like to stay a little warmer, so we can't keep the air conditioning down too low.
But listen, the deals are hot too. That's what I was getting to, right? Those deals are pretty smoky.
They're very hot. Not just the temperatures. The deals on safes are hot. We got rebates on Browning, Liberty, and a couple other brands. Got Fort Knox. Got all the good safes on the market here at the Safe House. So.
I mean, I absolutely love it. How long are those Browning rebates going on? I mean, they're for the entire month at least, right?
Yeah, actually, Browning goes through August. So, and then Liberty's got some specials and stuff. We've got some just Safe House specials too. So people want to come by, and I had a guy that came by and bought a safe from me, and one of his buddies had bought a safe from a big box store, one of those fake safes, and he had his friend told him he had safe envy. So don't have safe envy. Hey, buy a real safe from the Safe House.
I always like to pick on Mark and tell him, you still just pick up people off the side of the road and let them deliver the safes, right? That's how you. Oh no, wait, that's the other guys that do that. You don't do that.
Well, we do work release from the local, penitentiaries. no crackheads delivering safes at the Safe House.
No, everybody that, and people don't think about that, and I try to stress it when I talk about you.
Oh, yeah.
When,
no, that's very true. You need to trust the people who deliver your safes and stuff. So, and one thing we've been trying to really put a focus on is carrying U.S.-made products. So we've got the largest selection of U.S.-made safes in the state, I think. So.
Well, I encourage people, if they listen to me, go online, go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com, peruse online, but you got to go see them yourself, because what's impressive is I call it the safe maze. Because you'll walk through rows and rows and rows, and you think, man, this is more safes than anybody else on planet Earth has. And then Mark will tell you he's got like almost double that in his warehouse. So.
Yeah, well, come by and see me sometime, Matt. I got a little surprise for you if you come down to the shop. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I need to get back
and then take, everybody else come down and check out our specials too. But I got a little special Matt surprise if you come by. So.
Okay. Well, I'm on the way. I'm coming this week I might be able to get down this week, but I'm coming soon to see Mark at the Safe House. Listen, we love you guys. I know there's rebates galore going on. Just remind us, you got rebates on Browning and Liberty, did you say?
Browning, Liberty, and I got some specials on some Fort Knox and a few other brands in there too. So.
And don't forget, they got biometrics. They've also got those tornado structures, those shelters that people talk about.
Yep.
Yeah, and vault doors. If you're in the market, if you're building a house and you want a real secure deal, then go ask Mark about a vault door, because those are pretty cool too.
Just remember, we don't just sell safes, we sell peace of mind.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, thanks for calling me, brother.
Thanks, man.
I'll come see you. Yes, sir. There's Mark from the Safe House joining us for a few minutes. Daniel is next up. Hey, Daniel, what's up, man?
Hey, not much, Matt. Just trying to stay cool like everybody else.
I'm glad you called, and I'm glad you waited. I apologize for the delay, but the floor is yours, sir.
Roger that. You had a caller earlier on that was talking about the tunnel in Boston. I'm originally from Boston. We called that the Big Fleece, because it was estimated to cost about $2.5 billion to do that. The final price tag was $24 billion. It took them 16 years to do it. It was a 60-40 split on the funding, 40% federal government, 60% taxpayers of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. My question is, if this is an over-budget drilling, you're going to go through limestone or whatever, any over-budget expenses incurred, that should stay in Nashville, Davidson County, and the rest of us that live outside of that county shouldn't be taxed for that.
So it is my understanding, and we don't have, all of this is based on what I'm hearing behind the scenes. All of this is based on what many of us are hearing. We could call them rumors, but I trust my two sources enough to relate it today that there is reportedly an announcement that's coming Monday about the nature of this agreement between the state and the boring company. But what I have been told today, and, take this for what it's worth, but what I was told today specifically by two separate sources, Daniel, is that this project is going to cost the taxpayers no money. There will be no taxpayer dollars involved in building the tunnel.
Well, that's what we were told living in Massachusetts.
I don't think the Big Dig. No, I don't think that's true. The Big Dig was always a government project.
That was a big flease. And
well, again, I understand that, but you understand what I'm saying.
Well, hold on, Matt. The primary funders, since I lived there and experienced it, the primary funders of the Big Fleece, the Big Dig, was the taxpayers of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
I understand that.
It was from federal funding, but the federal funding was nothing compared to what us taxpayers of the Commonwealth had to pay for.
Daniel, I understand that. I agree with you. Listen to what I'm saying. This is not a taxpayer-funded project. It is a privately funded project, wholly, 100%. So any overruns are going to be footed by the boring company. There's no taxpayer money going into this project.
I'm not really feeling it, because we know how the boneheaded mayor of Nashville is, and
the mayor, it's my understanding, has nothing to do with this project as it exists today.
Well, take the example of the Boston Big Fleece, and just keep that in the back of your minds. Again,
well, why can't we take an example like the boring company did in Las Vegas just a couple of years ago, as an example?
Why can't we recognize the one in Boston? Why does it have to be somewhere else?
Because Boston's was a government project from the beginning. It was engaged by and it was instituted with government money. It was always a government project between the federal and the state and the local community. Am I right?
The taxpayers of the Commonwealth funded 60% of it. The federal government chipped in 40%.
Right. And
that was a 16-year project that had a price tag of $24 billion.
Right. And what I'm telling you is, if my information's correct, we'll see on Monday, that the proposal being made by the boring company is that the boring company will engage in this dig with its own money, and it will recoup the cost of the dig through the fees that it charges to use the tunnel.
How many other competitors have put in a bid? I mean,
There's no
one?
There's no bid. What do you mean there's a bid? There's no bid.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Has anybody else gotten any estimates, or are we just going with what somebody said and let them fund it all, and we just sit back and say, all right, have at it, it's all yours?
What cost do you I'm telling you there's no cost, so why would we have to bid something out if there's no cost to the taxpayers?
No, you're probably right. I'm skeptical when somebody says that it costs nothing to you. I'm a little skeptical about that.
Okay, so do you understand how privately funded toll roads work?
Yes, I do.
Same concept.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens when this gets all explained out.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, and I don't mean to be. It's just I don't think there's a comparison between a government project and what's being proposed here. And I understand the big dig was just. I mean, you were there. It just was horrible for everybody.
Oh, it was horrible. It was a joke, rerouting roads to, dead-end roads. And then you had the ceiling part of that tunnel falling in.
Collapsed, didn't it? Yep.
People's vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it was collapsing. So now you have a quality issue. You have, God knows what are the weather issues. But, I guess I'll believe it when I see it. Anybody that comes and says, hey, it's not going to cost you anything, I'm always skeptical because, the fine print, there's always something else. But, I'm just, like I said, I'm just giving an example. The people of Nashville and Davidson County can do whatever they want because I don't live in that county. But, just look at all these.
Yeah, well, it would extend. I mean, I guess the airport's in Davidson. It's not. It was. So just think of it as I'm going to build something that people want to use, and I'm going to charge people to use it. And then I'm going to pay back the cost of building it based on the amount that I charge for people to use it. That's
How about
all.
we work on the airport and quit making that a zoo and like a pain in the rear end to get in and out of? Let's work on that. Let's simplify that first.
Well, I think I hope that they're closer to conclusion than they were to the beginning. But yeah, it's a mess. I drive by it every day. It's a mess. No question about it. Thank you, Daniel, for the call. I don't mean to be mean-spirited with Dan. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude to Daniel. I do appreciate the call. He held for a long, long time. It's just there's only so much. You can't compare this to a state-run project. It's not going to be an open tunnel for people to drive their own vehicles into. It is going to be a private tunnel constructed with private dollars. Unless I am misunderstanding the project, and I don't think I am, it will be a privately owned tunnel that the tunnel people get permission from the state to use state easement. Whatever private property they have to go under, they'll get permission or they'll buy the right to use that private property. They build the tunnel with their money, and then they charge an amount of money for you to use a Tesla vehicle to go from the airport to downtown. And it would be, one would imagine, comparable to what it would cost you to get an Uber from the airport to downtown, except you have the convenience of going through the tunnel, which we are told will take less time. And maybe it'll cost less money. Maybe it won't. I don't know. They will figure out whatever that price point is based on the amount of people that they have in the tunnel and the amount of money that the project cost to begin with. But, I mean, Boston, the big dig in Boston was always a government project. And my man Daniel knows more about it if you live there than I do. But, I mean, I've seen the documentaries on it. It was an absolute boondoggle. And there's no question about that. But I think the confusion came in when Daniel's like, well, yeah, but who's going to pay for overrun? Nobody. The private company pays for any of the overruns on cost. They're incentivized to keep the cost down as a result. Lee is next. Hello, Lee.
Hey, sorry, I was just I got cut off earlier somehow. I was just listening to all these people complaining about the damn tunnel under the water, and Nashville's not. I don't think Nashville's going to have to pay for it, are they?
if my information is correct, no, it's a privately funded venture.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Elon, if you don't want to ride it, don't get on it.
That's right.
I would love to have a quicker route to go from an airport to the venue I wanted to go to. Sorry, I live 60 miles north of Nashville, so it's not that hard for me. But, think about people that live in California coming to Nashville. Or Travago's got a commercial about a bunch of Asian people coming over here to Nashville. I think it's a great thing for y'all.
Well, I mean, hope so. I mean, we'll see, Lee. I've got to scoot. I've got a quick break to take, and then we've got one more segment. 1221 says, anybody that tells you there's no cost on a project like that is lying. There ain't nothing free. Well, of course there's a cost. This is free market capitalism, guys. That it just doesn't involve government money. It's infrastructure that doesn't involve government money. But it's not infrastructure in the sense that you'll be able to drive your car on it. It's like Jackson and I develop a product and we buy a piece of property and we build an outlet and we sell our product to the people. Well, who's paying for that? Well, we're paying for that.
What are we selling?
We're selling widgets.
The little fidget toys?
Oh, yeah. Little spinners.
Ooh, I love the fidget spinner.
I do, too. We got a new design on one. And we're going to sell the hell out of them once we get our store open. But we got to come up with the money to open the store first. And thankfully, I'm Mr. Moneybags. So I'm throwing in the capital. You're going to man the store. We're going to sell widgets. And we're going to bring ourselves to profitability by paying off our nut. And then and the rest is, I mean, I don't understand who doesn't understand this. That's the way the free market works without government interference. It's just in this space, it's working for transportation. 52 after the hour, Super Talk. Friends, Tennessee Men's Clinic is your one-stop shop for all things men's health. Guys, it's about time that we had a men's-centric healthcare center here in Middle Tennessee, and we've had one, I guess, for about 10 years now, a little over now, as Evan Bass started Tennessee Men's Clinic in 2014 in Midtown. They've advanced to a new location in Cool Springs, so 2 locations to serve you now. And what do? Well, they help you get back into the game, man. They understand that at some point in your life, maybe the gym doesn't seem like a viable option anymore. Maybe you just feel run down, and perhaps this has led you to a lack of drive in the bedroom. If that is the case, a lot of guys feel like, well, I guess it's over. I guess it's, no more fun for me. Well, that doesn't have to be the case. You can get intimacy back in your relationship again, and it can be as simple as a single visit to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Let them get some blood work done. Let them give an analysis. Let their qualified urologist talk with you. Don't trust that online shop. Let's do this in-house at Tennessee Men's Clinic. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com or call for an appointment today. At 615-208-9090, 208-9090, Tennessee Men's Clinic. Lord, I thank all of y'all for participating on the show today. It's been a wild one. Interesting breaking news involving the Nashville metropolitan area, the B&A airport, the possibility of some new breaking stuff happening Monday. That's our understanding. We'll keep you up to date on all of that as the week continues to progress and into next week. We already, by the way, I should let you know we've got a few guests tomorrow on the show. 7th Congressional District candidate Jody Barrett will be on the show with us at 5 o'clock. That is in conjunction with Cameron Smith being here. Obviously, Cameron's here just about every day. There's somebody else that's coming in earlier. I can't remember who that is. I guess I should write these things down, Jackson, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, probably so. But then I do know on Thursday, our good friend Debbie Matthews is going to stop by in the early hour, the 3 o'clock hour. Also, on Thursday, we've got some very special young folk who are interning with Senator Mark Pody. Skylar is one of them, and I don't remember the other girl's name, and I apologize to her. I've got it somewhere. But Skylar's one, and another guest. They are interning with Senator Mark Pody, and they have announced a Young Republicans event that's coming up that they invited me to speak at next month, and they'll be here to talk about that on Thursday. And then Friday, in addition to Fry J, Representative Afton Bain, the cutest little communist in Tennessee, will join us on the program to talk about her bid for the 7th Congressional District at 3:30. Cannot wait for that. Or thereabouts. About 3. Actually, she's at 3 o'clock. I rarely have guests to start off the show, but that's when she needed to do it. And I certainly am appreciative of it. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Andy Ogles will be with us tomorrow. So that's just a full lineup for the rest of the week. There you go. All right, for Ken Weaver back in News Closet B, Jackson Williams controlling the experience. I am Matt Murphy. Mark Levin is up next. Thank you for being a part of the show today. We so appreciate you. Do me a favor. Hug your loved ones, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow. So long.